Maximilian, what's happening, brother?
What up? Shamo, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. What up, Carl? How's it going?
Man, doing good. Episode 52 of Hosts Accountable. We got a special guest in the stew.
Let's do it.
Sit back, relax, have a good time, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 52, Hosts Accountable.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. I know your time is valuable. There's thousands of other podcasts that you could have settled for, but now you're just vibing with two goofy dudes from Wisconsin who like to discuss their problems and figure out ways to solve them and challenge the listeners to get up out of their comfort zone. Try some shit they ain't done before. This is Hold Us Accountable.
Episode 52 of Hosts Accountables, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's good with it. Back in the stew.
Back at it.
Back in the stew.
Hell yeah.
Maximilian, Seamus Johnson, how you folks doing?
K-Town, how you doing, buddy?
Oh,
Good,
not
man.
too bad. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 52, we got a special guest.
Hey.
Everybody, give it up for Mr. Doug
Yeah,
Heim himself.
ladies and gentlemen. Hey, good timing, by the way.
Hey.
Doug, how you doing?
I'm fine. And
You're
I
doing
think
fine.
all out
Oh,
of here.
slide up. Yeah.
Slide up to that microphone a little bit. Gotta be a little closer.
Absolutely.
Hey, great to have you.
Oh,
Hello, microphone.
thank you for joining us in the
Hey,
stew.
I think we've been talking about you since about episode 40.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know if you want your audience to know this, but they blindfolded me and drugged me before they brought me into their bat cave.
Hey, well, I don't.
It's the only way we
I
can
don't
get
know
him in.
We gotta get guests somehow in the fucking studio.
Someone's got to bring our
can't-
ratings up.
I can't tell you where we are.
Doug, how you doing?
Oh, fabulous. You ask that again, I'll tell you the same.
Well,
Awesome,
We're so
awesome.
happy to have you,
Yeah.
man. Seamus, Max, how you guys doing?
How you doing? How
Yeah, yeah.
How you doing?
I don't know.
How you doing?
How we doing?
I'm doing good.
How you doing?
I woke up happy this morning. Very fucking
First
happy.
time, long time?
No. I mean, a little bit. But hey, I woke up thinking,
good.
hey,
It's a big day.
We got Dougie Heim in the
Today's the
studio
day.
today.
Got a big show.
Big show. Big show.
Gentlemen,
But,
when you're my age, when you wake up in the morning, you celebrate all day long because you woke up breathing.
Hey, I appreciate it. I try and celebrate every day as well.
You know, the best way to celebrate.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Hey.
everybody likes to crack a cold one. We're
I'm
gonna have-
thirsty, man. We got to get this going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We don't have a song. We do have a song.
Oh,
Hey, we got a
do.
song.
And we also have Mr. DJ himself, if he gave us a little beat going.
I love beer.
Beer of the week.
Beer is good.
Put it in my belly.
Yeah,
I love beer.
Beer is good.
I love beer a lot.
Beer of the week.
Beer of the week.
Beer of the week.
Yeah.
Beer of the week.
Episode 52, Beer of the Week. We are drinking. Not yeah, no. No, yeah.
No, yeah.
No, yeah, yeah.
All right. I asked this question before you guys started rolling for the show, and I want to know, okay, the beer of the week, I'm about to tap it open.
Yeah.
Where do you get it from? How does it work?
We got this beer from Super Value right up on Webster.
Yeah, man.
They have a nice selection of different beers from all around not just the state. I think this one's from Michigan.
Yeah.
So Michigan, I think we've had some from California. We've had some from
Man,
Texas,
you
Maine.
guys rock. This is my kind of home.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, man.
Bunch of crazy guys with a lot of question marks in their head.
I've never been explained so well in my life.
Oh, yeah. God, that was
So
great.
about the beer.
Yes.
First, let's cheers to you
Cheers.
guys. So, Doug, what we're going to
Cheers.
do, we're going to drink this beer. You rate it 1 to 10.
Right.
And I'm going to start out by telling you guys a little bit about this beer. This is not Yeah No. This is No Yeah by Bell's Brewery out of Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, No Yeah. No Yeah. No Yeah is an easy drinking beer that's bright and fun. It is both inside and out. The label designs plays into the meme culture that pokes fun at the Midwestern politeness, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
for
I know,
sure.
I know.
Attention grabbing and fresh, this gold nail stands out on the shelf, and it's just like many of the Midwestern phrases we use.
Oh, just gonna sneak past you.
Well, the man's repeating, you know. Oh, yeah.
I know.
Hey, it's just a really nice beer, you know.
Yeah.
Only available in Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, I mean, no, Minnesota,
No, Mexico.
No Minnesota?
I mean, it's in Minnesota, but you know, no.
No, yeah.
And then Iowa, Missouri, Kentucky, and Pennsylvania.
So
The
basically the whole middle of the state.
Midwestern, yeah, dude. The ABV is 4.5 lighter beer, which it's probably a good thing tonight.
Yeah, I'm already a couple in, so.
I mean, we warmed up with a couple 2-3, you know, and
Two tree.
Two or three,
yeah.
Two or tree.
No, yeah.
2-3.
We should make that a rule. If you say
If you say 3,
you have to drink. You can only say tree on the show.
It's like Trivers.
So you guys
Trivers.
taste this beer out a little bit. I can tell you, you know, shit, you know, I can tell you a little story about.
We get
Now
a
that-
couple of these.
Look at
drank
that.
Before
That's
the
how you know
story's
you
done.
look young. They ask you on your phone what your fucking date of birth is to even look at a beer website. 1997, 25, my friend. I mean, yeah, we'll give it a little read. All right, so it started in 1970 out of Kalamazoo.
Oh, Kalamazoo.
You know, you ever been to Kalamazoo, Doug?
Yes, actually,
You
I have. Yes.
How was it? You remember? Were you drinking too much, you know?
No, yes.
I don't remember.
So, okay. After attending Kalamazoo College, Larry is the creator of this in 1976.
Lair Bear.
Larry Bear begins working at the original Sarkozy Bakery, where he gains an interest in yeast and fermentation. Soon after, Larry starts brewing his own beer and sees an opportunity. I'm not going to go through all of this because it's a damn good timeline. I'll just jump right 2000. Holy fuck, yeah, they really have been going for a while. Oh, we'll mosey on down to 2020. You know,
The latest news.
the latest news. You know,
Yeah.
actually, what kind of beer? What kind of beer do you prefer? Do you have a beer you like more than the others, or
Well,
anything that's cold?
I can just answer that and just say Miller Lite.
Oh, okay.
But my history has been everything from Ham's, Old Style, Stroh's,
Stroh's never had.
Old Milwaukee.
There we go.
You know,
First beer I ever
it's-
drank.
It's
Old
stuff that
Milwaukee.
almost like sometimes I think you guys would look at someone at me like me and say, well, they don't make that anymore.
See, hams, love hams,
Love hams.
love hams.
Just drank an
We
old
gr-
style not too long ago.
Yeah, we had a case of old
Schlitz.
style.
Do they-
Schlitz,
Schlitz.
love Schlitz. Still makes it.
I've never
still
had a
brews it.
Schlitz, but my
Big
parents always talk
brown.
about
It's a
it.
big brown,
Yep.
dirty rack.
Yeah.
Old Milwaukee?
Old
Old
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee,
First
yeah.
beer I ever got. Well, first beer I ever drank was Old
Are you
Milwaukee.
serious?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to tell you the truth.
yeah.
The very first beer my brother snuck me was an Old Milwaukee
what
beer.
I-
And
Yeah.
from that day forward, I always thought that is the flavor of beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, were we wrong, my friend? Yeah. No, and Schlitz still. I'll buy a 30 rack once in a while just for shits and giggles, and it's not
For
bad.
Schlitz and
Yeah.
gigs.
For Schlitz and giggles. Yeah. Yeah.
Why were we laughing at that?
Yeah. Right.
What was funny there? Did I miss something?
Schlit was that?
What? Yeah.
I still don't get it.
Yeah, I still don't get it either. What about Pabst Blue? Was that?
Ah,
Is that Ben-
PBRs.
Yeah.
Peeps.
Were you a PBR drinker ever back in the day?
Pabst?
Pabst. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did drink Pabst and Budweiser, and they both gave me headaches.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean,
But
when,
then
when
again,
you drink 10
every
of them,
beer
yeah.
gives you a headache.
There was
Drinking off of
there was a bar in Milwaukee that they don't do it anymore, but they do a tall boy PBR. You get a shot of Jameson and a cigarette for
Yeah.
$7.
For $7.
The greatest. That was the
That's
best.
the deal of a lifetime.
They'd crack the PBR, put the cigarette in the beer tab, and then give you the shot, and then throw the beer at you. It was the best.
Yeah, you should have offered that in your DJing services. Not only do I have a dance floor.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. I don't think you can sell single I don't know.
Single cigarettes.
Bars don't sell cigarettes anymore.
Probably when you could still smoke in bars, but
Have you ever cigarette smoker? Ever a smoker?
Oh,
Yeah.
I used to smoke 4 packs a day.
Holy
There's 20 cigarettes in a pack of cigarettes.
chain
That's
smoking.
80. I literally had lit one cigarette and lit the next one,
With it?
and there was times I had two cigarettes going in a single ashtray. And I'm not making this stuff up. I'm serious. I smoked that heavily.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's the most I've ever heard anybody smoke
Oh,
before.
it was insane.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of why I ended up quitting too, because there was that one day I
'Cause
just
your lungs
had
were
that
tapping
hack.
out.
Yeah. It just had, you're not smoking anymore.
Yeah.
But then the habit is still there. So how do you overcome that? For me, I decided to make a test to myself. I always said I can always quit smoking anytime I want.
Yeah.
I'm in control, not the cigarette.
Right.
So I'm going to test myself for 2 weeks. And if I can quit smoking for 2 weeks, I know I'm in charge. Well, during that two weeks, I went through hell. I wanted to smoke. I was around people smoking all around me. I'm like, "Arr, arr, arr."
Yeah.
So I didn't smoke. And after that 2 weeks, I was getting less and less having the urge to smoke.
Right.
And then I thought, I'm not going to go back and start smoking because I have to go through back to 2 weeks ever again.
Right.
And I'm not going to let the cigarette win.
All right.
Of course,
Hey,
yeah.
good for you.
And that was the war. And I didn't tell anybody.
Cold turkey.
Yeah, and you don't tell anybody you're doing this either, because if you do and you give up, now you got all these people thinking, did he really do it or not?
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So that's what worked for me, and I was a
4 pack.
heavy smoker. So to answer your question, yeah, I smoked cigarettes.
I smoked a
We
little
had
bit.
I worked
Couple
at poured
poop
concrete with a guy. We called him Small Fry. That was his nickname. He was my foreman, and we called him Small Fry because he could smoke a pack of cigarettes faster than you could eat a small fry from McDonald's. What? And he would smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So yeah, good for you. You now smoke more cigarettes than anybody ever knew. That's awesome.
Proud of this.
It's quite the accomplishment.
Hey, what do you guys think so far of this beer? Good beer. by the way.
Yes, honestly.
I don't know. I need a cigarette now.
I know. All this talk.
No, it's a great beer. I really like it. I'm a big
An easy
fan.
drinking golden ale. I say it nails it right on the head.
Bells, are you into any IPAs? Do you like any of that craft beer?
No, I'm not a big fan of craft
Not
beer.
big- not a big fan.
Actually,
Good choice, by the way.
my wife's sister's son brewed some home brew stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time you get that home brew beer, it's always got some kind of a funky flavor. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
and
we got some in
we
the
all
fridge
know
right
what
now.
it is.
Yeah.
Some of this, yeah.
And but he one time brewed stuff that would rival Miller Lite. I mean, it was
okay.
yeah. And then when I asked him about what'd you do, it was like someone like you would make meatloaf and not make a note of what you
Put in it,
ingredient.
yeah.
He had no clue.
Okay.
But boy,
toss
yeah.
stuff in.
So it can happen. I witnessed it myself, and as you guys know, I am somewhat of a beer connoisseur.
Yeah.
But I've been out of touch of drinking beer over the years.
I was saying to these guys before you showed up, I was like, I bet Doug could probably come up with some contraption that made the best beer in the world.
He did say that.
Yeah, some sort of weird machine that just grew hops naturally and freshly
Brewed everything to
squeezed beer.
perfection.
Yeah.
Squeezed beer.
Yeah, I'm sure you were doing that when you were like 5 years old. So Dad drinks beer, should probably make some fucking beer.
Yeah, squeezing beer.
Are we done here now?
Yeah. All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we gotta
rate him if you want.
We gotta rate
him
this
if you want it.
beer.
I'm drinking a Busch Light in this. I better put
He's drinking beers like you smoke
The
cigarettes.
Busch Light is just to cleanse the palate, refreshing.
Nah, Busch Light's to hydrate. It's water.
So how do I rate this?
So 1 through 10, I mean, it's simple.
Just say a number.
Yeah, whatever
Whatever
you
you
think.
think.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do like I'll give it like a 7.34. Like I'll go a couple extra decimal points.
Max, you're my kind of guy.
Yeah.
'Cause I was going to say the same thing. I'm going to give this 6.43.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Good beer.
So in the past, like during Packer season, I know you're a super huge football fan and know everything there is to know about football. So we would rate it off Packer players. Good. If it was a good beer, it'd be a good player. If it were a bad beer, it'd be a shitty linebacker. You know.
Right.
So, but today we kept it simple. 1 through 10.
1 through 10. So Doug gave it a 6.43. I'll give it a.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna give it an 8.27.
Oh, up in the
Ooh,
8s.
that's a
Up in
good
the
one.
8s. That's a hell of a beer.
I'm digging
Hell of a
this.
beer.
beer. I'm not even gonna lie. This is an easy drink.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this.
Almost done with it.
No, yeah, I'm a big fan.
No, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm a big
definitely
he
a fan.
He
yeah, I'm a
literally
big fan.
just said no, yeah.
No, yeah.
No,
definitely-
yeah.
definitely.
No,
a
yeah,
fan.
definitely.
Oh, that's
big fan.
definitely no, yeah.
No.
You ever try
yeah.
to explain that to a person? Like, no, yeah means like, yeah, but yeah, no. It means no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
Wisconsin is a different language.
Yeah, no, this is a
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, this is a damn good beer.
What do you got? What do you got, Chamo?
Oh, what do you got?
I think I have to top you up just a little bit more, Max, at 8.4 tree.
Wow.
Oh, 8.43.
Look at that.
Tree.
Wow, you
That's a drink.
Oh, that is a drink.
Doug's
gotta
basically
say
saying
tree.
this beer sucks.
It's no Miller Lite.
Big
It is no
.43s all around. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 7.72.
Whoa.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's like
I can't
almost
tell if
three quarters there.
Right? I'm also drinking a Busch Light, so I can't really taste what I'm tasting.
What are you rating, the Busch Light or the No Yeah?
Oh, Busch Light, 10 out of 10.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, 10 out of 10 right here, but no, I like it.
So I saw your podcast. Am I really the first invader of your? No, come on.
So
Well, the first guy that's person, I guess, who's
We didn't know, really.
Yeah, exactly.
We had my buddy Decker on, who that intro song that you heard, that we had him on the show.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and then we had a buddy of ours, Connor, who's a good musician.
great musician.
Great musician.
He had he had guitars from the Middle East in here lined
Yeah.
up against
Real
the wall.
awesome.
Yeah, like
Awesome.
really
Super
cool
intriguing.
guitars
Yeah.
in here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very great.
and that. it.
Your brother Tom.
Oh yeah, my brother Tommy.
Couple
He's a
star
good radio
experience.
voice. He did some work for. He did some commercials for, I think, the Fan, or some radio.
He was in
stations,
here.
but-
We were doing some kind of weird carnivore diet, and then Tommy and I were talking about it because he was doing it too.
Yeah,
But other than that, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, you're the
just
yeah.
a couple of buddies.
you're the first famous person we had on the podcast.
Yeah.
Famous.
People are dancing on your floors all around the country, my friend.
All around the world.
All around the world.
Yeah.
All around
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, I actually did make a comment to my wife not so long ago that I literally, after I'm dead and gone, there's going to be people still dancing
Yeah.
on my floor.
That's pretty cool to think about. Yeah.
Define dancing on your grave. Yeah, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's
Oh.
awesome.
I think it's cool.
Yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Well, let's get into this. For people who haven't read my reality TV show yet,
Yeah, this is the one with the blue.
Yeah, first of all, go out and
Yep.
buy
The
it.
official.
It's at Barnes & Noble in Green Bay, right? And yeah, it's an awesome book. Great read.
Very, very good
fucking
book,
awesome
yeah.
read. Really is. It's like you're sitting having a conversation with the guy, you know?
Yeah, that's the way I described it too. It's like just the way that it's written. It's just not. I feel like I'm not like reading a book, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. Really is. So, Doug, tell us a little bit about yourself and just anything you'd want the people to know about you.
Well, for those who don't know me, I've lived in Green Bay all my life. I lived a few blocks from Lambeau Field, and a few blocks from a TV station, which we all know is right next door to the Lambeau Field,
Yep,
TV 11.
Yep.
And I started my career by digging in their dumpster, looking for motion picture film, because I was in process of manufacturing a motion picture camera, which I brought here tonight for you guys.
Can't wait to
That
see that.
will unveil to the world for the first time in about 50 years that the machine was turned on, and then there's the what were we talking about?
You. You, man.
If someone hasn't read the book, what's like just a general overview of kind of, you grew up in Green Bay, by Lambeau Field, then you started working for the TV station, and then kind of
Well,
from there.
again, okay.
Probably hard to recall when you've done a million things.
Okay,
No kidding.
Instead
Yeah.
of going down the path of all these things
Yeah,
that I've
sure.
done, I think what I need to talk about is that I guess I'm a natural born creative person.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I through my career, I got hired because I was creative. I had clients that would say, "How can we shoot a commercial with a pig?" A hog, driving a motorcycle down the highway. And they said, I don't know, but get a hold of Doug Heim. He'll figure out a way to do it. And I did.
Yeah.
So
man.
I used to tell my clients, come up with any idea you have. Don't tell me about your budget. Don't tell me about if we can or can't do it. Just tell me what you want.
Yeah.
And I'll figure out a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
and that was what I did. But early on, as you read in the book, my creativity thing was when I draw pictures. I was just
Right.
always
Yeah. Hell of an
look
artist,
at
by the
things
way.
and just draw things and create things and come up with ideas. And I was always curious about everything.
Right.
And so. That's me. So if you want me to not get long-winded here,
Yeah. So, quick question. I guess we'll just jump right into this. So, was your father, was your mother, or did you have family or friends who were creative the way you were? Was there an inspiration or maybe a kind of a mentor to kind of guide you to become the creator that you are? Because, I mean, if this was all naturally learned, holy
No.
shit. Good. No.
no.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is truly
No. As you're asking the question, I can honestly say no.
no. So was
Next
there,
question.
Was it the draw your drawing? Was that like the first thing that made was really spark like the creativeness? You kind
that-
of realize like, oh, I'm very good at.
I can look at this
drawing or-
bridge and make it.
Whoa. I've never thought I was good at anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of caught that vibe from you a little bit in the book. Which,
No, I've
by the
never-
way, fucking you are. So, I mean, not to toot your own horn, but
Yeah, fooled you.
yeah. But no, yeah. Back to that. Was that?
Oh, yeah.
Drawing kind of the kind of first press at creating and kind of making what's going on in your mind real, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Thank
Good
you.
question.
Appreciate it.
But yeah. Hey, let's do it again.
Hey.
I need a new one.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I do too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, that one's
Don't worry. I got you.
That one's broken.
Yeah, it's bad.
You gotta fix it.
Good thing we got two of these. I spilled on my microphone. That's why I didn't give you this mic. I've chewed on this thing and spilled so much beer for the past 2 years. It stinks. It smells like a bar.
Smells like an old sock.
Smells like a bowling alley every time I record.
Pass them down.
Carl.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Thank you.
Doug, do you need
Carl.
another one? Good.
I like the word you said, need.
Neat.
You don't say, do you want one? You say, do you need one?
Yeah,
Right.
There's a
yeah.
difference.
Yeah, there is.
No,
Need or want.
I'm on. We're good.
I didn't even catch. I was just yeah.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Now we can do it.
Cheers.
Yeah, now we
Yeah.
can.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Cheers. Clinky, clinky. But no, yeah. Talk about it if you care to talk about that creative
yeah.
process. Like I don't. Obviously, you kind of lost interest for the drawing aspect of things when you had to do it and not do it creatively.
First of all, I'm convinced that I was born just to be creative.
Yeah.
It's like some people are just natural musicians. Some people
Yeah.
are natural artists at drawing pictures and all kinds of so it's a lot of it's just born in you.
Yeah.
And so I can't, I'm so great. I was born that way. It's kind of like I
Yeah.
listen.
So then,
That's
what
kind of
was
like who you were.
the first well, what am I trying to ask here? The first thing, you got very into radio. Your brother had the ham radio station.
Yep.
Was that your first kind of I want to push my creativity or my creativeness in that direction?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. At that time, when my brother was into that, I was into learning electronics.
Okay.
You put stuff together on a circuit board, and it creates this gadget that does stuff.
Like
Right.
that projection screen you were
How
talking
does it
about,
do
the
that?
projection player or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you
so
mentioned
you
that.
apply a certain amount of voltage to a circuit board, and all these components do X, Y, and Z, and
Yeah.
it's like plumbing. But on a circuit board,
Right.
and what's a diode? What's a silicon-controlled rectifier? What are all these things? You know, and why do they do what they do?
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years old, literally, I drew a picture in kindergarten, in first grade, whatever it was. They had teachers give us all an assignment to draw pictures.
Yeah.
And for whatever you want. And kids you draw stick drawings of
Right.
mom and dad and their dog and on vacation and their pets and toys and whatever. Me, I drew a picture of a wall socket with a plug in it and a cord. And it was gorgeous. It had the shadows. I had
Oh my God.
it was
Teacher was probably like, "Well, fuck." I mean, just
but why did I do that? Because I wanted to know what's inside those holes.
yeah, yeah.
What makes stuff work? You plug something in and it lights up, turns on, motors roll. How does it do that?
Yeah, that's
5 years old.
But and you went through with these things. You thought about it. Not only did you just think about it, you did them. You figured out what was inside these things. I mean, for example, what's behind us. I mean, you figured out how to create them, and to me, that's mind blowing. The fact, I mean, because back then there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't shit like kids have now.
How do I put this together?
Exactly. Like, I mean, you had to kind of figure it out on your own, right? Yeah. So there had to have been a lot of trial and error, a lot of fucking up and messing up, and
Well, that's the master of learning everything for me. I didn't go to college to be, for people to tell you this is how it should be done before you screw up.
Yeah.
This, for me, my college was I went out and screwed up, and then I went, now I know.
I think
Now
that
I
one of your quotes at the end of the book, it was something about like, how did you do all these things? And
Oh, I was
it's like-
drunk when I wrote that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm drunk when I write most things, but what you wrote was, it's like, how'd you figure these things out? Well, like, most of these things I figured out by fucking up. I think it was, in a sense, is what you said, which...
I don't know shit.
Yeah.
I kind of have to wonder, isn't that like that for you? Isn't it
Absolutely.
like for you guys?
100%.
I mean, isn't it like that for everybody?
Everybody.
How do you learn the best things you learn in life? It's not by some parent or a school. It's by...
Fucking up.
Fucking up and having to
I
fix
think
it
he's
yourself.
got it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, he wins the grand prize tonight.
Oh, I didn't even get a chance.
No, I did.
Oi! By the way, I drank my beer. What is your problem?
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Oh, I know. You don't have one.
Oh, man.
Need another one over there, Doug?
No.
Doug's.
I like how you said need.
Yeah,
but-
Yep. We're always needing. So we're gonna do a lot of interesting things. We got reading. Having you here is pretty awesome. We've been talking about this book. We've been talking about just honestly your crazy life in general. Like the shit you've been through is fucking phenomenal. I'm glad you put it in a book for us to enjoy.
Right.
So we're gonna talk about the book. We're gonna, Doug has brought some things for us, some amazing things that he has created for us to kind of look through, and also some footage for us to look at. But I think for now we'll just keep shooting questions. I mean, you are an interesting man, I must say. Very, and I say that with the best.
The first time you're realizing that, or what?
I think I realized it. I mean.
After
When
chapter 2.
no,
I was
not
like,
even
what?
before I started reading the book. I just was checking the titles of each chapter and
The tip of my what?
the tip of my what? I was like, yeah, this could be a great.
Are you trying to tell me you don't know who you're messing with?
I think I had a pretty good idea about 2 pages into the book who I was messing with.
Oh, yeah.
All right, just checking.
So, all right. So you, 5 years old, you're drawing pictures of
Ball sockets.
wall sockets.
Wall sockets.
Wall
Normal
sockets.
So you talked about how your creativity, you're like naturally, that you feel like you're just natural naturally creative. What is like been your favorite thing you've created?
Oh.
The most favorite thing I've ever created.
Most favorite.
Yeah, like what?
Most proud.
Your
Something you
it
look
could
at
be
and you're
that
like,
picture
I
from when you were
fucking
in
did that.
kindergarten, and it was that, it could be that.
Yeah.
Might be it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a nice wall socket.
That
Damn nice
shadow
wall.
was perfect.
Yeah. You seem
well-
to have an amazing memory, by the way.
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know because it's hard to weigh some of them. It's like
Yeah.
I already anticipated you would ask me what's like the best story in my book, and it's the same answer. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
so many of them
There
that
really are.
to say which one's my favorite.
Well, let me put it this way: was there ever anything that you created just for yourself, just for you, that you weren't trying to make into something as a
No.
moneymaker?
No,
Everything you created was for a reason. Because you seem like a pretty determined man.
I've
You've come up with an idea.
Everything I've ever created was never for me.
For you.
It was always for something.
Okay, and was that encouragement? Was that, or did you ever want to sit and create something for you? Was there ever a reason to create something for you? Or was it just, hey, I gotta fucking make a movie
People
here?
come
Make,
to you, it's like, I need this, and like, I can do it.
yeah.
Yeah, well, making the movie, now you're talking about something making for me.
Yeah.
I would say that is something that I needed to fulfill to some
Yeah.
degree, and even this movie, Elusive, is a loose satisfaction, if you will,
Yeah.
Right.
because for so many factors, I had so much support in the production of it, but I feel disappointed that I failed to make it somehow more successful, and it's just a movie that never got published, which is really all it's ever been. And as things go, maybe the day after I pass, that movie may become something worth something. That's just how the world works sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then let me ask you this. So you were basically podcasting before podcasting was even a thing with your radio station. So can you talk about that? And like I think in the book you said you created content so you could have it running 24/7 without you even there.
Which is like this time of day now. People do that.
Which is
people are doing
that's
now.
what people do right now, is that they create enough content where they can just have it go. They don't have to do anything and then come back. Can you talk about that a little bit and just?
I'll make it real quick. I had 3 reel-to-reel machines, and the reel-to-reel machines could hold up to 3 hours on each machine. I had 3 of them tied together. What I rigged up was that when the tape runs out, there's a little lever that flips down and shuts the tape machine off. Well, I put a lever switch on that when that fell down, it triggered the next machine to kick on, and that triggered a couple of relays that switched that audio over to that machine, and when that machine ran out, it went over to the third machine.
okay.
So I could literally run my my radio station for 9 hours without me being there.
Yeah.
So like you timed it out. So like, all right, I gotta go to work. I'm gonna be at work for 9 hours.
Gotta go to school.
And this shit's gotta go because at this point I realize
got it.
my pops can hear this shit in Door County, so people are listening.
Yeah.
I better fucking make sure this is keeping. That's impressive. And yeah,
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
next question.
Oh man. I mean, there really wasn't that big of a reaction out of your parents, and I mean, it seemed like your dad was kind of had an idea of what you were doing.
He was wise.
Your father
He was
seemed
no
like a
dummy.
very wise.
Yeah.
He seemed like my papa, my grandfather, who was like, and correct me if I'm wrong, very kind of quiet spoken man, very wise, kind of a guy who you didn't really want to let down, kind of in a sense, but always knew like what the fuck was going on. And when your father, I think you mentioned in the book, he came home and he's like, so you said, just your radio station only can go like through the city, right, or whatever. Yeah. It's like, well, I was in Door County. I heard that shit loud and clear. Like, I mean, from there, and so, I mean, was that kind of when he kind of was like, oh, just kind of keep it down? Was that kind of encouragement to keep going? Like, well, all right, kind of seems like Pops is on board a little bit. Like, seemed like he was a little proud of what you were doing. Like,
just like you. I can only imagine. I can't speak for the man. I mean, I mean, I wonder just like you, just exactly as you said. Yeah. I agree with everything you just said, and I wonder as much as you do. I don't know the answers to that.
Was your Pops a mechanic man? Was
he was everything.
Everything, man.
Mechanical. I mean, my dad actually rigged up. He bought a boat. He loved fishing, and he bought a fishing boat. And he made it so that when you put it on the top of the car, unlike everyone else being upside down, his boat was right side up. He drove it into the garage. He rigged a pulley system up that he could lift it off the top of the car and pull the car out and in. And then whenever he wants to put the boat on top, you know.
Wow.
I mean, it's not. That's the stuff like.
Yeah, I
mean,
little things people wouldn't. Little things people wouldn't think about.
Right.
Wow. But. Yeah, I mean, it's impressive, super impressive. But I don't know. I'm gonna, real quick.
I might need another no, yeah.
No, yeah. Need another one? Okay. Let me. Oh, I just had a. I always have something on tip of my tongue.
Cheers. Yeah, sorry.
What do you got stewing up over there, Maximilian?
When you got your pirate TV show and you got your,
TV
15-foot, or radio show, you got your 15-foot antenna in the backyard. I mean,
on top of the roof.
On top of the roof.
Right in the pier off George Street.
Oh, yeah. That was a whole different animal. Yeah, it was 30 feet.
30 feet. Where on George Street?
30 feet.
On top of a house that was like 30 feet.
Yeah, neighbors just thought it was maybe a decoration or something. What the hell's going on?
Well, actually, I had a red light bulb flashing on the top of the tower.
Right.
And 2 times, someone shot it out.
Really?
It was, they broke it. I don't know if they did it with I thought they did it with a slingshot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they broke my light bulb on the top of my...
Was that a plane radar? Like, why? Because that's
just
usually...
in case?
Usually... Towers like that have it for like if planes are flying over, right, or something like that. Or
I really didn't. It wasn't really required that I put the red light on top. But I'm Doug Heim.
You're Doug Heim.
So how long did you have the radio station for again? How long did that go for?
I went on the air when I was 16 years old, maybe 15. I have to really think about that. But I went off the air. I was on the air 5 years.
5.
Okay, it's impressive.
That is. Yeah.
And to back it up, I want to back it up a little bit. So you finally get into Channel 11, and you're in kind of a structured place now. Like I mean, you seem like a mind that runs on its own. You know, you do whatever whatever your mind thinks that you do. I was going to say you do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get into Channel 11, was it kind of hard to... I mean, obviously, you were still doing the radio station, as we heard from my grandfather, but was it kind of hard to harness all that creativity and all the thoughts of... I'm sure once you're around all that equipment, you're like, holy fuck, this shit I could do with this. It would be incredible. But what was that experience kind of getting into the news station and actually into kind of putting your talents to work in a sense?
Awesome. Incredible. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to, get wordy about it, but it was just, wow. I mean, like I don't know what you guys, we could talk about each one of you and say, what kind of dream or opportunity would present itself to you, and you would go like pee your pants about it. I mean,
absolutely.
That's what happened to me. You just go about your life and boom, there it is.
Right.
Boom, there it is. That's,
digging in the dumpster for reels to working it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have grown up, 16 miles from a TV station and never have ever landed in a dumpster and never ever had met, your grandpa and all this stuff. It's just the way it happened. So when I sit here with you guys, and you know, sometimes in some ways you guys almost think like I'm some kind of great guy, but really I'm no different than you guys.
I think you would have found a dumpster with parts in it at some place and built something. I don't know.
Might have not been a TV camera, but
who knows? You know. But
so opportunity presented itself to me, and I was just very, very fortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had opportunities to look back at my life and think, I've been pretty goddamn lucky.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't.
Absolutely.
If I have anything to complain about, how dare me? Frankly.
And you do kind of sum that up at the end of the book, where you kind of talk about, you know, just the opportunity you were given, and just how everything worked out in a way, whether it was bad or good, however it went. I mean, I think you said, you know, you're happy, or everything's fantastic. Life's fantastic, whether it was good or bad. Life's fantastic, and I mean, the way it lined up, I've done some awesome shit, and it seemed like you had a good group around you to kind of move that forward.
And let me tell you
in certain times.
All three of you guys are also going to do the same thing. When you're 60-something years old, you guys will look back and say, you done some awesome stuff. You just haven't done it yet.
Right.
Yeah. I hope I'm 60 sitting in the same room when you're 120 years old still sitting with us.
Yeah, prop me up. Who died?
Well, hey, do you want to get into the video that you brought in? Do you want to we can go through that. Do you guys have any more?
I think the videos that I brought along will be a little gold.
Oh, I'm excited. So excited.
I want to also say to all you folks out there, I'm here to support these guys and their podcast, and I think these videos that I brought with me will draw some attention, only because some of these have not been broadcast in any way, shape, or form for over 30 to 50 years.
So awesome. So awesome.
The first 5 seconds, I'm like, I'm so ready.
Yeah.
I am. Especially like one of the, I mean, we'll obviously get into it, but like the first film you
sure
did, oh my God,
yeah.
I'm excited. So we'll kind of get this set up a little bit. Get the camera pointed towards Nope, don't have to do that.
Nope. We're gonna be ready to go here very shortly.
We can just pop it right up.
Yeah, we just gotta get
This is why you keep these guys around.
See, exactly.
I show up and I drink beer and I talk. That's all I do, Doug.
Always surround yourself with those kind of
That's
people.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. All right.
I'm sorry.
I'm real quick.
Yeah. So we haven't seen these videos. Shamo, Carl, and I have not seen these videos, so we're going to be reacting to them live as they're playing.
Some of Doug's original videos.
Yeah, and we'll pause, and Doug will talk through them a little bit, and we'll ask him if we have questions. I don't know. We haven't seen them, so I have...
Yeah, you guys got the control, so you can pause it whenever you want if you got a question as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that would have been the better way to put that, huh?
Yeah. Some of them shot on his original homemade camera. I mean... That's cool. That's cool.
Well, I had to bring it because...
I mean, just the screen alone, this color screen, I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, and actually, I'll tell you a little bit about the color bars that you probably don't know about. If you look at it, the first one, it's white, okay? Mm-hmm. That contains the color blue in it, because there's red, green, and blue to make that color.
Right.
The next color is yellow. There's no blue. Next color, there's blue, and there's green, no red. Next color, there's green, correct? Go through. The point is, each other one has got blue in it. The color blue. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
Right.
Okay, and then they used to have monitors where you would switch it to just the blue screen, and then all the different blues would be different luminant levels.
Yeah.
And when you get them all matched evenly, that's what the color bars system is for.
Oh, okay. That was
so it's like a way of like calibrating, I guess.
Yes,
and that's I learned
that's
to
awesome.
Adjust your like the color on the TV screen, because back then that's the way they did it. You don't have that problem anymore.
Yeah.
but yeah,
I never knew that. That's awesome.
And
that's hence why the color bars are what they are.
Doing this, I learned the whole, like, when they do take one or whatever, and they do the clap thing. It's to be able to match up the sound and the audio.
Mm-hmm. This audio with the picture.
Or audio with the picture. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you clap.
Yeah. So I can go.
We're learning
sound.
He's been doing that for 52 episodes, and Just figured out.
It was
Well, when we probably started
20
filming.
episodes.
20 episodes,
30 episodes. But anyway.
All right.
All right, so we are going to be...
We're going to roll right now. This is an edited version of the Sewer Sucker film we shot in 1971 on black and white 16 millimeter film.
Awesome. Let's get her going.
Sewer Sucker.
That's awesome.
All right, here we go. Sewer Sucker.
Yeah, no, the graphics. The graphics are all hand drawn there, and these are the railroad tracks next to a field. This is short. This is right off Military Avenue, actually, in Green Bay.
Okay.
And right off the tracks is a storm sewer, and we shot this spy versus spy version of two guys out to foil or kill each other.
Okay. So who is this?
That's me.
That's you.
Okay.
And I'm chasing after him. Now, this is a film where I die in the end.
Spoiler.
But here, the thing is that we're in a storm sewer.
Right.
And it's March, and when you see us crawl out of this...
Oh, my... Yeah, you got to be freezing.
Yeah, well, we were. Oh, my God. When you see me walking outside, you can tell by the way I'm standing and holding my hands and clutching them. But coming up here, you'll see a scene where we climb out. Here it is, where we climb out of the sewer, and look how wet.
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
Now, here, look at the feet. I mean...
Oh, man.
We were dripping wet. It's March.
Yeah.
How'd the sewer smell down there?
No, actually, it's a storm sewer. There was no
Oh,
odor.
storm sewer,
I don't
okay.
recall any odor down
Hey,
there.
hell of a head of hair back then, man. Tell you what.
Yeah, well, my mom was cutting my hair then.
Yeah, I heard about those stories.
Shaving her clean.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
No, look how wet we are here.
Oh, man, you got... Hey, at least...
All right, I'm about to be shot and killed.
So you guys, did you pull this sewer drain up the top of this to get down?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, we did.
All right.
Doug, no.
Hey,
no.
that's pretty good at.
And here's an early version of my animation.
Yo, this is awesome.
Captain
Okay.
Corpuscle.
All right, so here, let's ask this question.
Okay, pause.
Yep. Corpuscle. Where did this come from?
I've been waiting to look at how it's spelt right there. It's spelled corpuscle.
Yeah.
Right.
It's how it's pronounced. And if you looked how it was spelled, I being the creative person I am and a bad speller, I decided to break the rules and create my own way of spelling captain and my own way of spelling corpuscle. And if you look at the center of the word corpuscle, P-U-S-S, well, think about B-U-S-S. How would you pronounce that?
Bus.
Okay. Now I had a P.
Puzzle.
Corpuscle.
Puzzle.
Okay, so that's it. And this one here, I'm not going to talk through this. I'm going to let you guys make your own comments during this next segment. Go ahead, Roller. I'm going to sit back and watch you guys.
All right.
1974.
WDRH Radio with Captain Corpuscle. It's time to pick our navel on Captain Corpuscle is going to pick his navel for you and spit it on the radio. Buckman Turner Overdrive for 1974.
If you crank your radio all the way to the right, and then give it one more turn for good measure.
Look at that studio.
Voila! A masked mother.
Hell of a mask.
He also
by the
calls
way.
himself
finals.
Captain
Can't even tell who you
Corpuscle.
are.
He's the phantom pirate of Green Bay's airwaves. Corpuscle operates illegally in the back of his house whenever he feels like it. He says the best listening is late.
This is your house in
My buddies
Depew?
come in, they bring their albums. We have a great time. We're carefree. We got a cooler with beer in the other
Smoking a
room.
dart.
We got girls calling in all the time. Some guys calling up, but I love it when the chicks call up and they rap with me for the longest time. You know, we talk about anything and they talk about the station. We go on whenever we feel like it. We play what we want to play, and if we're feeling good, we're gonna play the wildest, fastest music you want to jive to. You know.
Oh, man.
There aren't any Cardex files here to find
Big
those
music
oldie
guy, huh?
moldies. No secretaries,
Oh,
no
yeah.
engineers.
Oh, yeah.
Just the music mother. He put the whole thing together alone. The wiring took more than a month, and the components were all bargain basement buys. And that 250-watt transmitter that isn't operating yet came from a World War II battleship. Corpuscle first went on the air in his parents' basement. He was 15 then. Today he's 20 and a veteran of thousands of hours. All illegal.
All illegal.
Tomorrow morning he'll sign off. He says the law is closing in, and now is the time to call it quits.
If I stay on the air, now I've been on the air really pretty long, and I've been pushing my luck all this time, and if I get caught, I'm going to be in the brig, or I'm going to lose a lot. And so I figure, while I still got it, I'll shut it off and maybe sell it to somebody that wants it, and I'll look for something else to do. I'll find
love
something.
your disguise,
How do you feel
man.
about it?
I love the disguise. I can't even fucking tell you.
I don't want to go off.
It's now 11 o'clock, and music continues.
Sometime, somewhere, with a new name and a different audience, Captain Corpuscle will throw the switches, and your late-night buddy will be back again. In De Pere, I'm Jim Douglas.
All right.
So that was Captain Corpuscle.
The pirate radio show.
Oh, man.
And that was the Channel 11's like news story on that.
Yes.
On your operation?
Yes. At that time, I was working at TV 11 as a kid in the basement and filing their news footage.
Yeah.
And they knew about my radio station, and they been wanting to do a story about my radio station, and I kept telling them no because I'm illegal. And then when I showed up in the ratings, it was over.
Yeah.
And so I let them do the story, and the rest is history.
You were up in the ratings, though, right? You were kind of getting bigger ratings than most of the local stations.
Correct.
At that time. So,
And you
there
also
was
had
no hiding it.
You also had like some of the Channel 11 news folks or anchors doing your commercial readings for you.
There was a gentleman by the name of Stanley Siegel.
That's
Stanley Siegel.
He was a wonderful, incredible celebrity, if you will, and he gave me some opportunities to basically, I asked him to do some promos for my radio station because I was taking his trash out and putting his laundry from the washing machine to the dryer and driving around his cool little sports car. And he thought, in exchange, he gave me some radio jingles, said, "You're listening to WDRH radio, the best music," you know.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That's so cool.
I have to hire you for the whole accountable ad read.
Hold us accountable. Here we All right.
All right, so now we're moving on to the Robot, 1975.
Watch away.
All right.
Just so you know that really happened.
And I are live from the nightclub. Over my shoulder here, you can see the weird robot that a lot of people
So are you the
honestly think
robot?
is real. He looks,
the robot.
looks
You're the robot.
legitimate. I can't stand it. Just who is this mechanical man here? Look, we've promised not to reveal your identity to the people in the club.
You created
but,
that suit?
Let's take a peek and find out who this
So
is.
it's a little choppy. Sorry about that. But look at that hair.
Oh, of course I know.
Hair.
This is
Oh,
Doug
jealous.
Heim, and Doug, I got to ask you, what went into building this thing?
$250 and about 150 hours of work.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You sound exhausted.
Oh, here we go. Perfect.
TJ
Okay.
and the Ant.
So before we watch this video, can you explain to people who aren't familiar with TJ and the Ant why it was so revolutionary, the concept that you guys had for your programming for TJ and the Ant?
And frankly, I think it's still revolutionary. I think
Absolutely.
it's still someone else out there could still do a show like that today.
Okay.
Of all the network TV shows that are out there in the world, wouldn't it be cool if some guy was in a control room? Because we all watch TV or whatever we watch.
Right.
Isn't there some magic guy sitting like a pilot in master control, running everything, and there could still be a show where you're live, like right now. What if we were live right now?
Right,
yeah.
And we were taking phone calls in and getting feedback, and how fun that is.
Right.
That was part of the revolution of that.
Okay.
The other thing was that before radio had always been one guy runs the whole show.
Yeah.
He's the announcer, he runs the records, the commercials, he does it all. Well, television was never like that. You have cameramen, you have directors, producers, engineers.
Right.
Well, what if you had a TV station where you run it like a radio station. Just one guy. He's the guy who runs the whole 9 yards. So that's what was revolutionary about that at that time. And I think it's, like I said earlier, it still would be revolutionary today. I think if somebody could do a live show every Friday night on any network out there.
Yeah.
You know, but again, like you guys, you got to have meat.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was the all night. So the TJ and the Ant was after when TV was normally done, went to the fuzzy screen. You guys were running all night
exactly.
too.
TV back then always signed off at shortly after midnight, national anthem, and end of story.
Yeah.
And sign on about 6:30 in the morning with cartoons, and that's when I thought, why can't we be on the air all night? Because I knew Chicago was on the air all night.
Okay.
Running movies. I knew there was a TV station that was in Atlanta, which was Turner.
Okay.
He had an all-night TV station. They called them super stations, and they were on all night.
So it was a couple states kind of fluttered around. Not many states doing this 24/7 deal.
Right. I mean, it's like kind of strange to say that, but
markets,
history is kind of interesting. In the 1928 was the first time a TV station went on the air at all.
Yeah.
And it was only on the air for a couple hours a day.
Okay.
You know, you fast forward into the future in the 1960s and 70s, TV stations being on all night, it was just it's a business. It's,
making money.
Yeah, and there wasn't any assurances. There's people watching enough to late at night. Well, we all know the answer to that now.
God, if a TV station went down at midnight, people would lose their minds.
Yeah.
All right,
let's keep rolling.
Let's keep rolling.
Seamus.
So here we go. We break the mold and go all night.
All right, let's see.
And
I turn the lights down low to get my favorite show. Watch the best face on TV. And it's TJ.
TJ and the Ant.
TJ and
Is my mom working for you at this time?
TJ and what? TJ and the Ant.
Yeah.
TJ and the what? Ant. Oh.
Sounds great, man. Yeah, with the weather and public service announcements. So we'll see you then, okay? What do you think? Hey, come on, man. Let me know what's happening.
Now, Les, you want to explain to us what this box is? This funny little box here?
this was another thing that was special about the show is that we were showing behind the scenes.
Reflected into this funny little box,
very
which is actually a TV camera in disguise. Same principles as one of the studio cameras, except this is designed for television film projection rather than live studio.
Why is this man staying up all night every Friday night? Go home, Dougie! In response to TJ and the Ant, TV11's assistant chief engineer had this to say: "That damn burn boys can blow up all them tubes." One viewer's response to this 7-hour television marathon: "Hey cats, that boy has heart." Don't spend your Friday nights watching the lawn get dewy. Watch TJ in the all-night theater, old-time movies, comedy shows, and delightful conversation. Fridays from midnight to sunrise on TV11.
Okay, now what we're going to do is take you back in time and take a look at all the things that we've done on the all-night theater. Some of the production, guests, and other little crazy things we've done.
I wanted to ask you, did you start this before he died or after he died?
UFOs are very seldom photographed accidentally.
That's number 70. Whoa, there it goes.
Yeah, we tried to make the world record of ice cream cone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Lakes.
And then we had local artists who would come on the show.
Yeah.
It's part of why the all-night theater was popular. It wasn't just running movies.
This is something I would jive with now. I'd watch this shit now. Absolutely.
And then wait till you see the G.I. Joe band. These are the G.I. Joe dolls. It's coming up.
So what I want you to do is go over to your TV set and turn it up all the way. And turn that bass control up all the way. I know you don't have one.
This was kind of like a midnight special. Remember that show, 1970s, where they had all those bands on?
Playing live right
Yeah. That's kind of, in a sense, these live bands, kind of what it is.
Sticking his nose right down your throat. Well, I'm the director of this boogie. We're out to have a good time. So we're gonna get it back together right now.
Here's the G.I. Joe band. This is animated by some local people, some kids who shot this on 8mm movie film and synced it up to the soundtrack of the music.
Oh my gosh. I had to take him.
That was awesome.
You want violence? Watch this.
So were these some movies you were playing?
Yeah, these are movies. Yep, that we ran on the
War
show.
of the Worlds. Oh man.
Yeah, so this will give you an idea of the movies we ran. It wasn't just horror movies. It was horror movies.
So are these a little bit kind of influences on your movies at all, or?
Robinson Cruise on Mars.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Conquest of Space. See those graphics. Animation.
Stellar graphics.
Now, watch. Your grandpa's coming up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I summed this up with him making a comment.
Okay.
Watch.
Dr. Hasline's theory of time and a vehicle traveling nearly the speed of light. The Earth is aged
Planet of the
nearly
Apes?
700 years since we left it. Well, we've aged hardly at all.
Uh-oh.
I thought, well, do you mean I want to stay up all night to watch this?
There you go.
Oh, shit. Rewind that. Look at Grandpa looking all slick.
It's a little choppy. Sorry about that.
Is it going to play back like that on the air?
I don't know. No, it should.
700 years
Because I'm recording.
Well, we've aged hardly at all.
I thought, well, do you mean I want to stay up all night to watch this?
He sounds fucking. That is awesome.
Hey kids,
Holy
it's
shit.
time for
Awesome.
McDonald's.
I would watch. I would watch this today.
McDonald's restaurant.
Sponsored by McDonald's.
Holy
I want you to meet him. He's a nice guy.
Oh, this is pauses.
Pause.
You gotta pause this. We're talking now. We're going into Barney's Clubhouse Pow.
Okay.
And there's a couple things I do want to mention about this segment. Jerry Drake, the guy that you see with the frizzy hair,
Yeah.
he hosted the Clubhouse Pow segment.
Okay.
I don't know how long, maybe a year. I don't know. And he loved it. He loved kids, and I wasn't real close to Jerry. He was the guy who would run the films through the machines and tell us what time the commercial breaks would run, and good guy. And I think he had a daughter that was deaf, and he lived in De Pere. Nice guy, loved the man actually. And when the TV station decided to have this Barney puppet take over the show to be the host of the show, he had no clue. It was all done behind his back, like that's the way the world is.
Yeah.
It's just business doing business. And so I went out to New York, learned how to do this puppet thing, and came back. And what you're about to see in the segment here is a couple things you got to pay attention to. First of all, I want you to pay attention to Jerry Drake. He's the guy there with the vest on.
Okay.
He was so disappointed and angry that this puppet now has taken over his show. And when you watch this segment, I don't have to say a word. You tell me. You can just feel it.
Oh, I bet.
And also, Barney was a cocky little son of a bitch because I was still developing his voice. When I did Barney's voice on television, I was like this. I can still do it to this day. Gee, how you doing? This is Barney from Clubhouse Pow. You want to play another round of plow? So,
wow.
But back then, I hadn't gotten my voice developed to that because I was doing a voice that was harder to do. It was more like Kermit the Frog.
Oh,
where I was going, hey, I'm kind of a, where do you think you are? You want to go for a ride or something? What are you, stupid? So I had that kind of, so with that all said, play the video.
All right.
Just watch this guy's reaction.
Uncle Jerry?
Well, I'm doing pretty fine. How was your flight into town?
Well, I just came in last week, and we're going to be doing a show here at 3:30 Monday through Friday called Barney's Clubhouse.
You're taking my job.
Yeah, well, tell you what they told me. I just thought I'd come and, have some fun, check it all out,
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I like your suit, but your tie is awful funny. How would you like to say hi to Catherine?
Sure. Where is she, on the phone?
She's on the phone here.
Hello. Hey, Catherine, are you there?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine.
Yeah, you're going to watch the Barney Clubhouse show?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are, huh? Hey, listen, I heard you got a dog that was trying to play power there. Got one point that's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
You going to watch my show next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to talking to you again sometime. Uncle Jerry and I will be back in about 30 minutes to play the game.
Listen, this guy, he's taking over already. First day. Remember, next half hour, another call, and we'll talk to one more of our contestants. Tune in then.
Hey, hiya, kids. It's me, Barney, inside of Sky Scoop. That's right. Before Sky Scoop takes off on another important news story, Lou the pilot is going to take me...
promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell he was not. He was like, "You're taking my job."
No, he's already taken over.
Look at
And
first,
that's the facts, Jack. That's
first,
what it
first
was.
show.
Hey, you were just doing business. I'm just here being me.
How does this puppet kind of work? Because I read about it, but I am seeing it now. It looks different than I imagined it. How does that puppet work?
Yeah. See, they did the animations, and you did voiceovers for it.
Oh no! The great thing about this puppet, they created a way to make a cartoon character live.
Yeah.
Right.
Animation always, like you said, you have to shoot it and animate and process. And
exactly.
Play it back, sync up music and sound,
right.
voice. No, this was. I actually was holding. Gadgets in my hand to make him blink and make his mouth move and his arms move but he was a puppet that was laying flat on a table.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So in a sense, like a ventriloquist. Right, that's what it's called.
Ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist, in a sense. And
I never had to worry about them seeing my mouth.
Yeah.
No, that
was.
No.
I guess just a puppet master.
I don't know. It's just cool because, back then, it's almost like nowadays, like CGI.
Right. Yeah. The first stages of CGI.
Right.
In a way.
In a way.
Right.
Yeah. I would say so.
All right. So now this is Barney in a helicopter.
Well, this is going on with the Barney segment of the video I'm giving with you guys. Again, this is stuff that has not been seen by anybody for decades. But TV11 used to have a helicopter for their news. Go ahead and roll it. But Barney, they used Barney as a spokesperson.
Up in the air for a ride. And say, Lou, tell us exactly how this thing flies.
Oh, Barney, this stick makes us go forward and backwards. And the pedals go right and left. And we've got a control here that goes up and down.
Give 733-1136.
I gotta just interrupt a minute. I'm Tom Hutchison, manager at Channel 11. Because of the interruptions we've had today and because of the problems you've had, we know you're a little bit behind. We're gonna leave the telethon on for a while. All our crew has agreed to stay, and we just give her. We gotta have some more money in here. So we'll stay on after 6 until you can get the dollars up. Thanks a lot. Beautiful.
Plus, we got somebody else who's got $62 for you.
And your dad did that, and Barney was there monitoring the fishbowl drive, and people going out for Barney to collect money for the fishbowl, the telethon. And I was set up. You can see there that's a TV set that's a console TV set sitting up on top of tables. And I was in a position where I could see the kids or the people that are looking at the TV screen, so I could respond to them. So, like if let's say a kid was in front of the TV screen wearing a red shirt, I could say to him, "Hey, I like your red shirt, hoo-hoo."
Okay, wow.
Man. Holy shit.
Hi there.
Here's little Ricky. Dump it in, Rick.
Ricky, that's a pretty big bucket you got there. Boy.
You've done such a good job, Arnie.
Thank you, Rick.
You're going to come back next year, of course,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. That's entirely possible.
Hey, kids. It's time for McDonald's Clubhouse POW.
We've got time for one more POW segment yet coming up today. Steve, let's play POW.
Oh, yeah.
This is so you can see what the game looks like. Here's HBS.
Hi, this is Peggy Wanke, your host here on the Home Video Shopper. Stay with us for the HVS Home Finder. Next, we'll visit Sherway. You are looking at one of the largest, most beautiful produce departments to be found in any Green Bay supermarket. This one, of course, is located in the Libel Street.
That's a look at Sherway's Market Basket for this week. And remember, Peggy, all the specials we talked about are good at all 10 Sherway stores. We'll see you next week.
Take the Sherway, the savings at Sherway.
This is where the cop shop
The dance machine. We're on the road again.
Pretty sure. I think Sherway is where me and your mom used to grocery shop way back in the fucking day.
Way back.
Yeah. Okay, now we've got the dance
now
machine.
We're on to the dance machine.
All right, let's give her.
Yeah, what you guys are going to see here in this segment, Dance Machine, I got the, you'll see some of the TV shows we broadcast on TV 32 in 1984, the Mock Rock Lip Sync Contest, which took place in 1985, and you also see some of the homemade videos that we made that we used to take out with us on the road when we were DJing. We'd set up TV screens and play video music, and you'll see some of our own homemade stuff, as well as how we spun the Dance Machine logo.
All right.
Oh, what? The dance machine. The dance machine.
It's so cool to see this.
Be on the lookout.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And we're coming your way. Maybe today with music. So come on down.
Where are we at? We are at a place called Beyond Teen Center in Green. We're at the Four Seasons in Appleton, Wisconsin. And now we're back in Green Bay at the Blarney's. And now we're in Oshkosh. This place is called Dr. J's.
We're now at Foxy's in the town of Menasha.
And Pickles Pub and Sub in Poughkeepsie.
The next song is Two of Hearts by Susie Q.
Yeah, well, this gives you an idea of generally what the show looked like. I mean, when it was first on the air, it was just people dancing. But watch what happens.
I never said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, no baby. But this love and I can't keep it to myself.
Come on, guys.
Oh no.
Some music right now, the Beach Boys, called Surfing USA.
Hi. Across the USA.
Oh, dancing? That's getting high. You're a fucking hell of a performer, man. Yeah. Entertainer.
All right, now we're moving on to the Mock Rock Lip Sync Contest.
All right. Again, lip sync battles. This is something people started doing again in like the late mid-2000s.
The four categories they're being judged under are lip sync, which of course means their lips matching to the lyrics of the song. And the second category is stage presence, the way they appear on a stage. Originality, any little
like
of their own ideas that they threw into the act. Yeah. And you people are going to be observed by the way you respond to their performance. And look at this. They're ready.
This is so cool. This is fucking awesome.
How many of you are from Green Bay?
You're not from Green Bay.
That was the guy who inspired me to do the Mock Rock. This guy right here. Yeah.
Oh.
The movies.
Darling, you gotta let me know. Should I stay or should I go? If you say that you are mine, I'll be here till the end of time. But you gotta let me know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Should I stay or should I go? Little Willie, Willie,
We had actually a total of 41 contestants.
through the
night, I'll be awake and I'll be with you.
Look at that.
You guys got to realize these are everyday people.
I would love. They're killing it. Trivers.
Shivers from Trivers, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see what he's got.
Pat House, dude. Pat House. Putting on a party.
I'm from this area, buddy.
He knows what he's doing. Look at this guy.
Oh.
Look at this guy.
What a song, too.
And he took second place.
I can't walk
OJC first place. You won't be disappointed.
The peacock on his grand prize.
His first place.
Snooze Brothers.
Oh, instead of the Blues
God,
Brothers.
what a
Oh,
song.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love the ironing board keyboard.
Oh, I love it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Universal Amphitheater. Well, here it is, late 1970s.
Oh, look at the good Belushi.
Yeah, he does.
Look at this guy.
Mustache.
Pre-programmed electronic disco. We never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft anymore.
Oh, we had something going on.
Something going on.
Say the least. Records department of your local public library.
Oh.
From Rock Island, Illinois, the blues band of Joliet Jake and Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers.
My God.
Sweetheart to nails, sweetheart to bed, sugar to kiss, sugar to kiss. I need you.
Definitely deserves it.
Holy shit.
In the morning, when my soul's
You can take
Okay, now we're going to get into a segment where I'm going to show you the videos that we made, our homemade videos.
Okay. All right.
They're coming up right here. Ear drumming.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wait, that guy's not hitting anything.
Now, this gentleman right here is the guy who made my shower for me when I was living in my hellhole. That's Ron, my buddy.
Ron, all right. This isn't, he's not actually playing.
No, it's all video.
I'm not identical to it. I'm not a musical guy. I don't know much about tunes.
That's downtown Green Bay there. Now this is yours truly.
Ah, look at you! That mustache.
The hell of that broomstick.
Burger King crowd.
That's a Barney's Clubhouse T-shirt I'm wearing.
Okay, oh, I see. Yeah.
Man, I wish you still had a few of those on stock.
Well, I don't.
How old were you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
25. Now these are my buddies in my truck.
Okay.
We're just having fun. Drinking beer. But during that shot, though, we were not on the road. The vehicle was not on the road during that shot. Now, here's a shot that was actually on the road, but that shot you saw, he was swinging a beer. That was actually in my driveway.
Well, they were on the road.
Just so you know.
On the road, they went in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No window.
Now, watch how we spun that sign around.
Necessity is the mother of invention in this case.
What we're building here is an apparatus to put the
in the hand, of
TV
course.
camera
That's when
in.
I was smoking.
To spin it around. Now, a lot of work goes into a simple effect. All we're going to do here is show you how we made the dance machine sign twirl around. Just pull these apart.
Wow.
And now this spindle will go onto our,
Look at that.
our horse, duct tape, to hold it onto the
Back
apparatus.
then, we didn't have the
And
technology
then mount it
to
on
make
to
it
the unit.
digitally happen.
Right.
We had to actually
And
spin the
counterweight.
camera.
Yeah, they got
We're ready to
free
shoot the
weights on it
sign.
now.
We wrap our cables
Well,
around
give
the
me a
camera.
challenge.
So
We'll
we're
figure it
turning the
out.
camera.
Wow.
Cables will unwrap.
Oh, that's
Give the illusion that the sign is spinning. And now we're going to show you the actual dance machine spinning logo unedited. And how we gave the illusion for it to abruptly stop was done with an edit.
Whoa.
You can pause here. We're jumping time here. I forgot to stick in a video.
This is your movie now, right?
Yeah, this is the trailer to the movie. But prior to that was Tell Audio, the history of PR keys and the whole gamut. And you should have it on that drive I gave you, and it should be labeled accordingly if you want to jump to that. Then we can go back to this video clip. But
Tell Audio, right?
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So 19.
Yeah, this was right after the Monk Rock lip sync contest and all of that.
Okay.
And Bill LeMay and I started up this audio video production company, and we were actually the first production company that I know of in the state of Wisconsin where we had a full-fledged audio studio and a full-fledged video studio that were electronically connected.
Oh, wow.
So that I could produce a video, and the audio would have like 8 tracks of audio that we could mix things.
Whoa. All right. Tell Audio Productions, Inc. Engage.
1987.
You're going to remember graduation
And that's my sister right there, and that is my dad with the camcorder.
And nobody has a
I used to
camcorder sale like
recruit
Biaggi's
family
camcorder
members
price cut
to
weekend. Graduate with camcorder. Get smart savings.
Is this the
It's
sister
number
who
one in its
married
class,
Carl?
the camcorder
No,
weekend sale
no,
through
okay.
Sunday.
That was my oldest sister.
Stores with service.
We won an award for this commercial.
Oh, look at that.
Very little dialogue. That's my son. I think
cool.
I think
Him?
he was
Right
like
there?
8. Yeah, he's like 8 years old there.
Okay.
106 WAPL going down in history as the Valley's home of rock and roll.
Look at that. Was awesome. Oh, you know how many times I've wanted to do that?
I think I've seen my dad do that, actually. With vacuums.
Until now, there was no way you could be certain your scope was on when you were in the field. But today, there's a remarkable new device which allows you to sight in your scope perfectly.
And then we were doing video music for bands.
Okay. Oh, wow. So you guys were making music videos?
Good job, gang.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
wrap.
Oh, my God.
Actually, it's one of the most fun things that I enjoy doing.
I bet.
Music videos.
Yeah. I don't know what we're watching here. Oh, these are more commercials and things that we produced.
Oh, cool.
I am fucking fully intrigued in everything that's going on. This is incredible.
Not too soft. Green Bay, Fox Cities, and northeastern Wisconsin.
Look at that antenna hanging from your house. That showed up on this.
WQLA.
Personal service only a hometown independent bank can give.
Union State Bank. That is awesome.
When's the last time? Have you watched this stuff recently?
Oh,
I want those sunglasses.
Well,
now.
I have not been able to transfer any of this material until just recently.
Okay.
My wife and I moved to a house, and there's a third garage stall.
Okay.
That is insulated and heated.
You could have used that when you were making your dance floors. That would've been great.
Oh my God! you
in charge of that would have been a lot warmer.
Yeah. No kidding. Jeez.
Well, it's not so much to keep me warm. It's like now, if you're going to fire up these machines,
right.
These videos that you're watching, they don't make these machines anymore to play these videos on. And I happen to have a couple of machines that are still in working order, and if they fail, it'd be tough to get parts to fix them and get them going again.
Bet.
So it's really fortunate I'm able to grab a lot of this old footage and capture it before it's gone forever. So that's what I've been spending a chunk of my time doing. But
okay. I mean, now that it's on this shit, it's gonna live for a long time being on YouTube. So this is incredible. This is remarkable. I mean, reading it and being indulged in it in the book is one thing, but being able to see it firsthand is pretty remarkable. Awesome. It's amazing. You did. Umbro, that's like a big soccer brand.
Still is.
Yeah.
Still is.
Now this, the girls singing, we shot that in our sound studio, and then the footage of the guy in the parking lot or in the car lot we shot in Wausau.
Okay.
Look at this editing skills.
Yeah, we did a lot of things that were actually pretty much ahead of its time for that time.
It kind of seems like that's your theme.
Yeah, a lot of the things you did were ahead of your time, Doug.
That's my curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, a lot of the things you did and you talked about in the book were, like people don't understand my vision. And I mean, for us reading it, being in the age we are, it's like, how do people not understand what you were trying to do?
Right.
I think my biggest thing was the angel copter. Seeing that is, I have a lot of friends in photography who do weddings and shit, and it was like, it's their biggest tool. It's like one of their biggest things, and you kind of bringing it to fruition. It was like, how do people not understand how like that must have been very frustrating for you, people not understanding the vision, or was it just kind of like?
No, there's no frustration.
No
frustration is not a feeling I feel at all when I have ideas that I see and other people don't get it. It's kind of like the Oreo cookie. I'm going to tell you this. Nabisco makes the Oreo cookie, right?
Yeah.
I have an idea that they haven't thought of yet.
Okay.
And it's like, it's so obvious. It's like the most obvious idea. They've got Oreo cookies that have every color in the rainbow stuffing in it.
Yeah.
They got some of the stuff that's got, and then they got the thinner wafer.
Yeah.
But they still have the creamy gunk in the middle.
Right. Yeah.
They've never thought of ever making an Oreo cookie with no stuff.
Just the cookie.
Just the cookie. They haven't. You can't even get it. If you want that, you'll have to go buy a package of Oreo cookies and take the gunk out to have a cookie with no gunk.
I tell you what, you thought about this. In 10 years, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be buying it.
It's like,
that's your curse.
Well, why didn't they think of that? And they should fire whoever the guy should have thought of it.
Right. Literally growing up.
But that's only if you want to know what I think.
Oh, yeah.
I do love that fucking. I love the gunk in the middle. I do love that.
Growing up,
but that's it. You
eat the gunk and eat the cookies separate.
But maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you might need it for a recipe.
Oh,
that is true.
You never know. Oreo crumble sandwich.
There's all kinds of ideas and opportunities out there, and they're right in front of your face. And sometimes they're the most stupid, simple things.
Right.
Like washing windows for $3 for 2 minutes.
Isn't that an awesome? Even though I tell these stories, you have to understand I'm wowed by them myself.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I bet. Mean, what was it like? So writing this book, what was the process like? Was it all right? I'm gonna write a book. You sit down, you write. Was it a long strung out process of stories?
No.
All right. How'd it happen?
Put it bluntly, writing this book was me puking.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I just barfed. But
why?
Well, when you get to my age, you get filled up with stuff and you have to puke.
Right, I guess.
But,
okay. Yeah, it makes
but
more
really,
understandable.
why did I write the book? I think I had written something down to help answer that question.
I mean, do you need something written down? You wrote the whole fucking book. I don't think, there had to have been a reason for 235 pages of a book,
Good question, and the answer is no.
No, okay.
Well, I guess, so I think the whole podcast we do, the whole point is we try to do things that we want to do. I tried writing just short stories, but what is like writing a biography basically like? I mean, I know you said it's not really about you, it's about like your experiences and even you learn from them. But it sounded like it was a cathartic thing to just spew it all out.
I think you're right on. I was even thinking as I was looking through some of the questions you had graciously prepped for me to be able to answer, you guys already have your own answers because it's just simple common sense. There's nothing magic here. I'm like I said earlier, I'm the same as you guys.
Sure.
I'm a creative guy, but I'm sure there's things we could talk about all night about each one of you.
No, absolutely.
And how incredible you are.
I wouldn't put them down on paper, but we could talk about it.
Okay, we'll go to your question about why did I put it on paper. It wasn't originally to be put on paper. I'm just sitting writing stories down. And I think what spawned at the beginning, the very, very beginning, was back in my boating days. And we'd be sitting out on these islands and having a campfire going, and there'd be all these other boaters sitting around, and we're all drinking and talking about anything and everything, and my buddies would say, Doug, tell them about your pirate radio station. Yeah, tell them about the time you were at this. Tell them about the story about and then I'd be sitting around and people would be just glued, and they'd go, did this stuff really happen?
Yeah.
Is it really?
That's as I'm reading the book, that's kind of what the exact same mindset.
Exactly what you're saying. The way you explained, that's how I felt reading this book, is sitting around at a bar having some beers around a fire, just somebody telling me a story. And that's, I think, why I was so intrigued and able to actually read a book. Like I told you, the first book I read in 6 years, I sat down and read this. But every time I read it, it was like...
I'm not a book reader either.
Every time I sat down and read it, I was like, I'm going to read a few pages and I'm going to... But then all of a sudden I'm 30 pages in it. It's like, I haven't even fucking blinked.
Yeah, that's what we said last week. Reading is something I don't think any of us are like, oh yeah, I'm going to read a book. So it's like, any book is like, okay, I have to read this. So you pick this book up, we're reading it, we're doing it for the podcast, and then you get into it, like Carl said, you're 30, 40 pages, you're a couple hours, you're like, oh my God.
Because you're good at one thing, is you're setting, this happened, but I'm going to tell you later why it happened, why it's important. And it's like, well, fuck, now I got to read 30. But then I start reading those 30 pages and fucking 10 of those things happen. And I'm just intrigued. I'm sucked into it. It's like I'm talking to you. And I'm not going to lie, talking to you face to face, it's fucking like reading the book, man. Holy shit.
Well, now it's time for me to give credit to my wife because... I've never written books. I never thought about writing a book. It was never anything I had set out to even do. And I started writing these stories down. And as I wrote the stories down, there was like this story, that story, that story. But this story wouldn't be complete if I didn't tell this personal part of how it got to be that way. Okay. And so it was kind of like having a brick wall of all these stories, and I couldn't glue them together or put them mason together to make it complete.
Sure.
And I remember when the first draft I gave that I did of my manuscript before the book was even to the level it is now, I went to your grandpa and gave him a copy, and he said, cut out all that nasty personal stuff and that. Get rid of that and just make it a book about the TV career and your career and that. And I went back to go do that, And as I did, I realized I can't, because how can I explain why this happened? Because you guys already have a gazillion questions. But if I could answer every question, if I could write a book and at the end you go, oh, I have no questions.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. Yeah.
But you guys are sitting here with a ton of questions. So Tom, he helped me in that regard as far as getting to the point of putting all the stories together. And then I, as I went back to go and rewrite the book and take that stuff out, I did. And my wife, by the way, who's always been along, I told her when I started writing this thing, I said, if I'm going to write a book, because I don't know if I'm going to write a book, but at that point, I said, I want you to please just make me not look stupid. I mean, please proof it for me, go through, and she's been a huge input on helping me explain my stories.
Yeah, Char seems like a hell of a woman, by the way.
Well,
seems like a hell of a woman.
In the first draft, she said toward the end of the book, she felt that it was rushed, like I was hurrying up to get the book done. And you know what? I was.
It was, yeah.
That's exactly what I was doing. And it was good, because a year later I went back and went and redid that, and it was kind of cool because I was able to just focus on the end rather than the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so to sum it up, basically, I had all these stories, started writing them down, and as I saw that, hey, this story would go great after this story, and that story fits after this one, and this, but they need to be glued together somehow, because there's parts missing. You wouldn't understand, well, why you did this, and why boom, you're there, and then boom, here. So I put it all together. And then as far as, I know you guys want to ask me about me sharing my personal stuff.
Yeah.
How can you not? I mean, it's to me, I feel, okay, I've been born on this planet. I've had a lot of experience. I call me wiser, if you will, but I've seen a lot of people older than me, and I don't think they're very wise.
Yeah.
But, supposedly all these things have happened in my life, and I've learned from these experiences. And if I have to, if I honestly share them, and anybody goes, well,
yeah,
whatever,
whatever. I don't fucking read my books.
Put the book down.
I mean, your book. Have you read cover to cover after you wrote it?
Numerous times.
You have numerous times.
Yeah.
And how many times through rereading it did you want to? Was there a time where you had to just tell yourself, like, all right, it's fucking done. It's done. I got to stop.
Every last time I read it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Because I think about writing a book about, I'm only 25. So, I mean, the shit.
I get your question. Would I go back and rechange it, rephrase it, add something, take something out? I've gone over enough times to say, no, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like that's kind of accepting what you've been through in a sense, where it's just like, well, I can't rewrite the shit I've done. This is the shit I've done.
Right.
And that's what I respect and I love about this book is to me, it's so true and sincere, where it's like, at points you put yourself out there like very vulnerably, and it's just like, I mean, how can you not relate with this guy? This is fucking, the ups and the downs. I can't fucking relate to half your stories because they're fucking insane. You've done awesome shit. You've done crazy shit. Living on a boat. I've lived in a tent for a couple months. You living on a boat was like, yeah, I fucking get that. Like, that's awesome.
Well, 40 years from now, you might have a whole story of your own.
Yeah, fucking yeah. I might be sitting here with 220.
And can't believe it.
I'm fucking. I love it.
We got 3 minutes left of this video. Should we finish it up?
Yeah, I have to pee so bad.
That's why I had about 6 beers waiting in that bladder to get out.
I can't. I'm gonna pee and then have 6 more beers and have to pee in 10 minutes.
There we go.
But I can power through 3 minutes.
Okay.
Trust me, I might.
All right,
we're good. Let's go.
1992.
All right. You were born. I had to memorize that. He was my fake ID.
It's really coming down here. I'm worried.
Well, don't worry, Mom. We'll come out and get you first thing in the morning.
I guess I'll see you in the morning. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Was that Irma again?
Yes, it's storming out by her, and she's really afraid they're by herself.
We
we interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. William Shane, the notorious midnight killer, has escaped from the state prison. He was last seen wearing a white prison uniform.
Is this the one where you were able to...
Spencer Milligan.
This is the question I was about to ask.
What the...
Is there something wrong, Mr. Richards?
Woke up on the plane and, no one was... Hello? Where did she go? Hello? Is anybody out here?
Yeah, we can pause here. There's a whole segment missing between that and Angel Copter. We saw the Tell Audio stuff, so yeah, we're good. Yeah, this is
no.
Yeah, that's it. It was just the Angel Copter's footage I had there, and but I don't. What I don't have, and I wasn't able to provide with you guys, but you can get it on the internet, on YouTube. Is you go to USA Dance Floor, and you'll see a video of a Cadillac sitting on one of my floors, and I programmed the dance floor to the song "Raise a Little Hell" by Trooper. And that is probably the best display of the floor in numerous ways. One, it shows what it can do, and plus a car sitting on top of it.
Right. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. That's awesome. That movie.
Yeah, the movie Elusive. Oh my gosh, that was so because you did it. There was a first part and a second part, right?
Correct.
So the second part had the actor that you got. What was his name? I think you said told.
Spencer Milligan.
Spencer Milligan.
I could not give him any credit in the movie whatsoever, and the reason is because he was a member of the Screen Actors Guild. And he was totally doing this as a freebie on his own, voluntarily.
Okay.
Not any connection with the real world of movie making.
Right.
So he helped me out. He was on the sets with me and helping direct the actors and so forth and coordinate things. But he also is in the movie because he's the guy that's wearing the Grim Reaper outfit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So how'd you score him? How'd you score this opportunity?
I don't know. I can't remember that. That's one of those things I don't know. I met a lot of people and people that knew me and this and that, and it just was one of those things where I can't really tell you for sure how I walked in and said, hey, you're Spencer, I'm Doug Heim. How do you do?
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
So let's. I'm super curious. So you went through all this, and then you started getting into Heim Productions. You open up that. All right, you got this big. I mean, I might have skipped a couple steps here, but going into owning your own business, having your own building, having this big, beautiful place as it looked. Where was that located? The big Heim Productions building.
Bellevue on Sell Street, which is near Beebles.
Yeah, I know exactly where Beebles is.
Oh, okay.
Right over there.
Yep.
So you got into that. You had a couple partners. Obviously, things kind of fell through not the way you wanted it to. But getting into it, I mean, having a building, having a place with your last name on it, a big, and I think you always talked about. This is kind of one thing I'll get into. You create these big, wonderful things. I think one of the first things was like, I built this huge building. Like, I just want my mom to see it. Show my mom this. But first of all, just moving in, having your name on this big building, and like, what was that feeling? Was it at a point where you're like, all right, now I'm thriving. I have a business. It's beautiful setup. Now I'm going. Here we go.
Never felt that.
Never felt that.
Always felt a level of fear.
Yeah.
Always.
Of failure?
No, not failure. Fear.
But a fear of failure, or a fear of what?
Fear of making my payment next month, making sure I can do this and that.
Yeah.
It's failure maybe as a bottom line has been my main driver all my life. I mean, I've been running away from it, and I recognize it when it comes, and sometimes it does, and it gets you, and sometimes you dodge it. But
yeah, I mean, were you at a point where because I mean, you created so much shit. I mean, you kind of set yourself up for. I mean, you create something from the ground up, and I mean, I think with anything in life, it's like it's a make or break. It either happens or it doesn't. So, I mean, were you living on that path where it's like you were always kind of waiting for that like bad shit to happen after bad shit would happen were you just waiting for something to fall apart, or were you just focused on like, all right, I'm doing this and making it work, and if it falls apart, fuck it, falls apart, then on to the next.
Well, I think you guys already know the own answer. I don't think I do anything different than you guys would do. I went to work every day. I always was optimistic.
Yeah.
You know, I'm optimistic to a flaw. I know this. But that's what I am, and you keep going, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you have to deal with that.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what we call a thing called life.
Well, one thing that worked extremely well was your homemade video recorder.
Oh, correct? Shit, yes.
Yeah.
Is that something we have time to get into and show?
Sure, let's
show it off quick.
You got a video clip in there.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
That I there's two of them. There's one with me. There's no sound on it because the film interview was done on magnetic film, and I don't have a projector that can pick up that audio off the film.
Okay.
So the video is silent, but you can see the camera that I'm about to show you, and you can see the more the inside details, because when they interviewed me for this camera, I had the camera innards were still exposed. I didn't have the outer housing that encases it. And by the way, I'll bring the camera over here.
Was that yeah, you might have to.
We're good.
Might be long enough. But that box of it looks like an army box. And like what'd you make that out of?
Okay. If you guys look closely here, this outer side, this is a piece of metal that I had cut out, and this corner and this bottom corner here, I actually put underneath a 2x4 out of my dad's garage that was on the garbage cans that they had out in the garage.
Yeah.
Well, they were the 2x4s that kept the garbage cans from sitting on the garage floor.
Okay.
And I took this piece of metal and slid it under that 2x4, and then I would bend it and took a hammer and banged it into shape. And that's why you can see there's hammer marks. Yeah. If you feel it, there's hammer marks along that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And all this metal was cut out by hand and hand bent in whatever way I could find. This here is the front here. This is where the lens would attach, and I'm going to open it up because I'm going to turn this on for you guys so you can see the machine running in there. On the back of the camera, which is my camera? Is this my audience over here?
Yep, right there.
Okay, on the back of the camera, there's a footage counter.
Okay.
So every time 12 inches of film would run through the film, it'll click this little counter, and that counter was one of those counters that they used to have when they counted people coming through a gate to count attendance.
Yep.
Well, I took that and cut it up and got a mechanism so that one of the gears, every time it makes a rotation every 40 frames, which is a foot of 16 millimeter film, it'll go up and clicks that little counter. And then also there is a little light sensor on the front of the camera, which will tell the camera operator on the back, a little red light will light up saying that it's too low of light to take footage.
Okay.
And then finally,
that's awesome.
I think we'll just open up the machine and show you the innards. And like I said, I brought you some footage that I shot last week before I brought this thing here to make sure it was actually still working, because it hadn't been powered up for 50 years, and plugged it in and it still worked. Which kind of,
I think is a work of art.
Yeah, I was going to say, it means you made a damn nice machine. All right.
And there's what the
my God.
inside looks like.
So I'm looking at this. I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
But it's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try to.
You're good.
I'll try to explain a little bit here that this part here. This is where the. I'll rotate this, and you can see the shutter.
Yep.
That shutter opens and closes, and as down right below that is a little claw movement that as the shutter closes. It changes the frame, and then it opens to make an exposure, and then closes, and then it changes to the next frame.
Oh, okay.
And so this thing is plugged into power right now, and I think if I push this little button, we'll be able to watch it run.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then on the back side here, this is the take-up spool. And then we can, I'll swing it around so you can see the counter on the back is counting the footage.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to sound so like I'm fucking 25 years old, but before some films, they'll have, like, that sound with, like, Mickey Mouse dancing around. Like, I never understood, like, what that sound's coming from. Now hearing that camera, it's like, holy shit, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, I
just threw that together.
And so, what was the time frame? How long did it? And for the audience, what age and how long did it take you to kind of put this together?
I was 15 years old when I started. I finished it when I was 16 years old, and it took almost a year exactly. It took like a year and 2 weeks.
Okay.
To build this.
How
thing.
proud of you of yourself? Well, you had to have been giving yourself a little bit of a pat on the back for this one.
I don't feel that.
No, you're not a big pat on the back guy, huh?
I guess
Create
not.
your shit, move on. I had something bigger out there, huh?
Yeah, I built this thing because I wanted to shoot movies.
Did you? Okay, so I remember in the book talking about when the teacher brought in the projector into the classroom, and you were super intrigued in it.
That was a beginning.
Kind of what sparked it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you make a projection? No, this is kind of how the camera started, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was before the camera.
Tin cans and
yeah.
throwing stuff together.
Incredible. So how much film? How much did you film off of this camera?
100 feet.
100 feet.
That's about 3 minutes of footage.
Okay. Oh my God. What of?
It was a test. It was just
a test?
I actually it was done in my parents' basement. The camera wasn't even complete yet. I actually had to cover the camera with towels to keep the light out because I hadn't had the cover and all that stuff built yet.
Wow.
And I wanted to test the camera, so I draped blankets and stuff over the camera. I had a neighbor buddy come over, and I had him do some things in front of the camera, and that was the only footage that was ever shot, and the camera did actually work. It took
Do you still have that footage?
No. If I do, I don't know that I did.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. Yeah.
It is. It's. So do you ever? I mean, growing older. I mean, you're such a creative mind. Do you have the itch still to just want to create?
We still got ideas.
Well, I just brought up the Oreo cookies, didn't you?
I mean, you're
trying to revolutionize the food biz.
Message them tomorrow. I'm like, hey, you guys ever thought of this?
I can't tell you how many times my wonderful wife says to me, Doug, settle down. Just settle down. No,
you seem like a guy who
great
can't sit
idea,
still.
but not. Just back off.
Are you a woodworker?
Humans will do that in 200 years. Just
you good at? You ever tried your hand at building furniture, woodworking at all? Seemed like a guy who could be good at it.
Well, I I did, but it was only because it's like drawing was forced on me in school. They made me do woodwork class,
so you hate
and I was good at it.
Okay,
but it wasn't my passion.
I mean, you had to do a little bit of woodworking.
Yeah, I was pretty amazing at it, but I just didn't.
Well, your dance floors were made out of wood because I remember when you were out in Oklahoma, you had to go out there and the glue was fucking failing and shit.
That was only wood because it was a necessity. I had to have some material to make this thing. I didn't care if it was wood or plastic or whatever. I just needed this stuff.
People could ruin that shit for like art, drawing. People could just ruin it by making you do it. I mean, I get it, I guess. I do woodworking. Woodworking is a huge hobby of mine. Love woodworking. But I do it as a living, so I do every day, and it does kill it for me a little bit. Well,
that's awesome. See, if you can find a living doing what you love to do, like I wrote in my book, my jobs have always been my hobby. I've never really worked in my life.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a couple of occasions we all have to roll up our sleeves and get to work. But, but I've always found a way to, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. What was
I think that's why I fucking love your book so much, because it's just like sometimes something goes to shit, but like then you're like, I think I want to try this next, and then you just do it. I don't know, it's crazy, and like you don't just do it like a little bit, like I'm gonna try it. Like no, I'm gonna do it.
Do it. What was Char's father like out on your road trips? How handy at 90-something years old. It sounded like he always wanted to hand it on something. He was never sitting back.
I got to that part of the book and was like, oh man, now I have about 30 more questions. Like, this is
So you guys talk about that Halloween costume you guys went out to. You guys bought totally the wrong costumes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and he always wanted to help set up. Didn't ever want to sit in the car. He was taking care of $17,000 in all 20s just on his lap. Like he seemed like a badass motherfucker. He really did. Like, what was it like traveling around with him?
He was a blessing.
Yeah,
he was a blessing I never saw coming.
Yeah.
The funny thing is before I met the man, my wife has 2 other sisters, and they would call. They lived in Albuquerque. Char's parents lived in Albuquerque, and would call. And I never talked to them on the phone. They never, they would talk to Char, and that was that. And then one time I'm down in New Mexico visiting them, and Char's parents are talking to their other son-in-laws, and I don't know Char's parents at all yet. And I felt kind of left out. That was a time I felt a little bad because they didn't know me.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was that. But until that time, they moved to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And
they got to know you.
Oh yeah. And it was. I know it was wonderful for both of us. I never think that I would bond up with some guy 30-some years older than me, and he's in his 90s, and get me hooked on big band music.
Yeah.
I mean, we traveled down the roads, and we weren't listening to my music. We were listening to his stuff, and war music. And
what's war music? What would that?
Oh, war music is kind of like
drums.
To Ryle Blue yonder,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Give them the guns, Then,
Fucking, he's probably sitting in the front seat like, let's fucking sell these machines, dude.
I think you got the idea.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh man.
So it seemed like to be a good influence on you, a positive person to have around.
Yeah, well, everything is bittersweet, that. Everything's got a good and a bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was wonderful, and it sucked. It was.
Yep. No, I think we can all relate.
That's one thing I learned from your book. Also, is like, oh, it's going so well. But like, oh shit, what happens?
Give it
now?
a minute.
Yeah, it's like life. Everything's going great.
Yeah,
not now.
No,
no, it is. No, it ain't.
It's like
no, it is.
That's how you ended your book. Like, what else could go wrong? Then there was a pandemic.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That fucking makes sense. Yeah.
No one's dancing on floors anymore right now.
Cleaning them with wet wipes at the moment. Oh man! So you still selling them?
Yeah. I will say the pandemic was decimating to the industry,
of course.
But for some strange reason, I've been able to squeak by, and but unlike you can write a book about anything, but I never saw that coming. That this 2020 was going to be my best year ever. I mean, it was hands down.
Yeah.
Sales were crazy. I couldn't believe people were paying. And orders were coming in like they were, and by mid-March, I had several tens of thousands of dollars of sales all on the books.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everybody called and canceled, hold everything. And then for I think it was 8 months. 8 months.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Sales came to a complete total stop.
So what do you do at that point? Can you do anything? You can't do anything.
Well, like everything, yes, you do. You just you deal with it,
right?
You keep going,
right.
and during that journey, things go through your mind of thinking of like, well, I may have to file bankruptcy. I may have to shut it down again. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. As much as I was humiliated to ever file bankruptcy in my life, you only do it if you really have to.
Right.
Sure.
But then again, like I said, when I was in that court that day, I found people, I think, filing bankruptcy for a hobby.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
There's people like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Yeah. People were saying like, I'm like a couple thousand, and you're like, God, like a couple $100,000. Like, the fuck you guys doing here?
So it's no, you don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to tell you.
Yeah. But you're still thriving, man. You're still seem like you're living with joy. Every day is another day, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, enjoy life. I mean, just you guys are young. You got a whole lifetime ahead of you yet, and
let me ask you this:
you're gonna have a lot of shit happen.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, for all those young folks out there who are trying to find their way in relationships. So you've Shar is your fourth wife, correct?
Correct.
And she seems like a fantastic lady, a lady who really hit home with you.
She's the greatest support system I've ever had.
How'd you know the difference between Shar and everybody else you connected with?
There's not a.
This is a one you can't say. I don't know, too.
No,
you got to know to this one.
She. I guess it's kind of like playing horseshoes. If you keep throwing at that ring and you keep missing and missing and missing and missing, you will get better and better at getting it right every time. Mm-hmm. And what does that mean? That means knowing the difference between something that's real and something that isn't. And the only way you can learn that, again, it's like I wrap up in the book, is how did I learn everything I know?
Fucking up.
Yeah. So I guess I screwed up enough times to now know when it was real.
Yeah.
And that's the best way I can really answer that.
Was there any doubt with trust at that point?
Oh, yeah. When I first met her, I fell for her. I really did. Right away, because I clicked with her the day I met her.
Yeah.
But, I struggled really. I had a huge argument with me about doing it again.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't you have a license plate that said no wife?
I did.
That should have been on the pit mobile.
I don't think I needed to put it on the pit mobile.
Yeah, no, you
did.
Shar named it. So
I'm not going by that van.
All right, continue though.
Well, there's nothing more to say. I think that really that after making so many mistakes, I knew that I had the real deal with her. I mean, and another thing too, unlike most of my relationships, she was a leader.
Yeah.
Meaning, I've always, I'm a leader myself.
Right.
I've always been. I'm a natural born leader. I don't follow the crowd ever anyway.
Yeah.
About anything.
You don't say.
But all my other relationships were followers. They needed me or wanted me or something.
Yeah.
And when Shar came along, she was someone who didn't need me.
Yeah.
She didn't need me.
And I think we actually talked about this because we have talked about the relationships he's had. I mean, we were sucked into this book.
Yeah.
And we talked about when we finally got to the part where you met Shar, where it was like, it seemed like...
What happened?
It seemed like you finally met a woman who worked as hard as, like, who was just going the way you were. You know, like, you were...
It's like the Seinfeld episode. I married myself!
Yeah, exactly. Like, Char's working. She's on call 24/7. She's always going. She's out of town. She's doing this, and you're doing this, and you're doing that. And it semed like...
Yeah, you both could relate to each other.
Yeah, you could keep up with each other, it seemed like. You could keep up, and yeah, I know. We've had this conversation plenty, and I don't know and that's another way this book struck, where it's like when you met Shar, I could tell like this is the fucking one, guy. Don't let go of this one. She's working as hard as you.
Even my first ex-wife said he finally got it right.
Wow! Even she said that.
Good for you. Round of applause for you.
Yeah, wow.
Hey Max, I do think before we wrap this up, let's do a quick mental health episode or mental health segment. Read a quote.
Sure.
Read a quote. We'll all put our 2 cents in it, and then we'll get the fuck out of here because I was late for work this morning. I can't be late for work tomorrow. So. Oh man, Doug, it's awesome to have you here. This has been more than a treat.
Yep, and before I get to,
by the way, folks, they're going to blindfold me and drug me,
and drag
so I don't know.
We're taking you out the way we took you in. So.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna show him this episode a week from now, just to kind of film in.
Is there anything from the book you wanted to touch on that you haven't had a chance to yet?
Yeah,
is there anything? I have no idea if there was a story that you were like, "Ooh, this is a good one. These guys would enjoy," or anything we haven't hit yet.
No, but because the book speaks for itself, and it's like I'm done.
Yeah,
but I do have a couple of stories that are not in the book.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Max, for asking this question.
Yeah, Carl's trying to wrap it up before any of us are even. He gets all his questions, but no one else gets theirs in.
That's why I love Max. It keeps me in my feed.
Okay,
we'll change this to Carl Wardlow's show.
This was actually during the years I was doing TJ and the Ant. Down in Oshkosh, they had a dance marathon at the Park Plaza. There's a big downtown plaza down there. And it was a big whoop-de-doo, and I was down there as a MC for the event, and they were auctioning off disco pants. But these disco pants were plastic, see-through, just like wearing the plastic on that picture frame over there.
Some
shower curtain. Yeah.
And they asked me if I would do it, and I did. I went on stage and and you could see my underwear. And
you were wearing them.
A story that we when I was out boating with my buddy Larry, we went across the lake to Charlevoix, and we partied all day long and decided we're going to head back to Wisconsin at 1 o'clock in the morning. And we get across Lake Michigan, and I have nothing to guide me but a compass. We did not have Loran or the GPS or any of that stuff you have now. We had a compass.
Jeez.
And I ended up coming to shore, almost crashing on rocks, and on a whole shoreline was dark, and we couldn't see anything. Yeah. And I got on the radio, and the Coast Guard came out and rescued us and towed us, and it was like a 50-mile tow because we were way north of Washington Island.
Oh my God!
And they towed us back, and on the way, while they're towing, my engine is dead. And on a boat, it's power steering.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also have no power steering, so I'm trying to guide the rudder as we're going through these rough seas because that death's door up there is rough water up there always.
Yeah.
And I'm all of a sudden, I'm holding the steering wheel to the boat.
What?
No way to steer the boat. And then finally, Doug Phillips, Mr. P, as I call him in the book. Him and I went on a DJ job together one time where we teamed up 2 DJ systems into one truck. I drove him to like Clintonville and dropped him off with all of his equipment, and he went and did his job. I drove to another location, half-hour drive away to set up for my job. Well, my job turned out to be one of these unexpected experiences, which I wasn't prepared for, where I had to go down this huge staircase to bring all my equipment down. So I get this job done, and I'm an hour late of getting back to pick up Doug, Mr. P, at his job. Well, his job was in a little facility outside of a small town in the boonies, next to a woods.
Okay.
A wooded area. And he's saying, well, I got to wait for my buddy to come and pick up me and my equipment. And he goes, well, we're going. You got to get your stuff out of here. So they kicked him out, and he had to take all of his DJ equipment. He's sitting out in the back of the building waiting for me to come pick him up. And as he's sitting back there, he's thinking, all right, how long Doug's going to take to get here? And all of a sudden, the outside light shuts off. He's in pitch black darkness. And he's thinking, okay, well, how can things get any worse than this? All of a sudden, drip, 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 drip. It starts raining out. Okay, how can things get any worse than this? All of a sudden, he hears in the woods. But anyway, he could tell you stories. It's like stories. The book, you can go through a book the book would be 1,000 pages.
Yeah. Right? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Well, in the story, you almost the Halloween party. You were almost drawn and quartered. I mean, that was like. I was. My heart was racing reading that because it was just. I was putting myself in that situation, and if there's people tying my ankles up, tying my wrists up,
not funny anymore, guys.
I would be losing my mind.
Just because I wrote it in a book, I don't think about it. But when I do, even when I wrote it, it was like it gave me the shivers.
It started off where it's like, they're fucking around, messing with you, and then it was like
too far.
You guys are starting to drive apart.
And that's again the amazing thing about this book is there's 100 little stories that you touch on, you say a few things, but I'm sure you could go into just detail upon detail.
So how about the tip of my penis story? Let's talk, or the tip of my
There's always more to every story.
That's exactly what I'm asking, because this became a backdrop for a couple commercials, right? It was seen all over.
It was only one TV commercial.
It
was only one commercial, but it was a commercial that aired
everywhere. Hell of a backdrop.
A lot.
Nice clammy pink.
But while it aired and while it was on the air, I didn't know it. I didn't know it at that time. I found that out later, and I believe I have to. Other than the photographer, other than him, I believe we're the only two people on the planet that ever knew it until I spilled the beans about it.
I was gonna say, did anybody ever figure out about it?
How television and everything is so censored, and to find out back in the 1970s there was an extreme close-up of a penis at the end of a TV commercial, and nobody knew it.
Nice.
So you mentioned,
but I did.
Yeah, you did. So you mentioned that it's kind of a pivot, but like kind of seeing like censorship on TV now, kind of how the way social networking is now. I think everybody knows everybody's kind of pretty sensitive in these days age. So back in the 70s and in the early 80s when you're doing TJ in the Ant, like did you have to worry about what you're putting out like for people to see? Was it kind of more of a like, fuck it, people will laugh, he'll get a laugh out of this, not really worrying about how people are going to feel about it?
I can answer that in a way that you'll understand. I was just like you guys are.
Yeah.
With this show, I felt like a pirate of the airwaves.
All right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Every
other word. Fuck.
Yeah, that's how I was raised.
I
don't know if my mom was that way when she worked for you, but fuck, she taught me how to say fuck. That's kind of rude to say about her. Beautiful, wonderful woman, but fucking
but better her than someone else, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
fuck, right, Ma?
That's
man.
awesome,
Well, Shamo, you have any other?
Yeah, I'm sorry for kind of just.
No, I was just kidding.
I know.
Well, end of the show. Save the hardest questions for last. I just want to see if you can tell us what a linebacker is.
Oh.
Well, that actually I do know.
You learned.
And I actually know what safeties are, too.
So are you a football fan?
Yeah, well, I'm a football fan. No, I'm a Packer
Oh,
fan.
there we go. Thank you for bringing this up.
I'm a Packer fan. I'm not a football fan. I'm not a sports fan.
Yeah.
I don't. My wife, she loves watching sports.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
And her son is a major Packer fanatic.
Okay.
He flies in from Washington, D.C. Regularly to come to Green Bay Packer games.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
But me, as far as going to sports events, I want it for fun. I'm not to get into this, watch the game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, right.
So
Well, I'm glad you brought this up. You actually got to film one of the first Monday Night Football games.
that's true.
Yeah.
And apparently you fucking botched it.
I did.
Talk about like how was the experience? Was it just how did everything happen? How did it come about?
Gonna find the linebackers.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
You understand what whiplash is?
Yeah.
You're driving along, and I was just well, I was cruising along, going, I got this. I know how to run the camera. This is the focus. This is the zoom. I got it under control. I can focus. This, that. Camera 3. Follow the linebackers. Well, that's it. We're done.
Well, that's it.
So are you on like I don't know how it works when you're filming a game. Are you on like a machine so when you're filming you're moving? Or like are you just on like a camera on a
No, I was just on a camera on a pedestal. I was on a camera on a pedestal up in the press box.
Follow linebackers.
Yeah. Back then if they had 3 or 4 cameras covering the entire game, I mean,
was huge.
Yeah, that was.
right now you guys got it 500 cameras covering the game.
We have cameras on the pylons.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Line marker.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Does that excite you at all? Would you ever like be if somebody said like, all right, now you can get thrown into one of these and be a cameraman for one of these with these crazy cameras? Would that excite you? Like, oh yeah, I mean, now that you know where the linebackers are. No. Okay.
I've created my own movies.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big part. I mean, 90% of the shit you've done is part of history, but
right.
I mean, for me, being a huge sports fan, that's
Monday Night Football.
That is huge.
That's really awesome.
That is very huge. Yeah.
Well, consider my age.
Yeah. I'm glad you did a good job.
And I also just I love how like you said like, oh, I grew up blocks away from Lambeau. My dad loved the Packers, and I'd watch the games with them. And then I'm filming the games. And
did your dad grow up in?
What am I doing? Yeah, that was a great story.
Yeah, it was
great.
Awesome,
just
dude.
I think because it sums up a lot of just like this all of your stories in general. Just so much knowledge, and then there's just one thing that you might be like, wait a minute, what? Hold on. And then in most cases you learn it and you figure it out. But then in that linebacker one, it's like, what's going on?
A couple times you brought up like somebody tried to teach me again.
Oh yeah. Was it Char's dad? I think
Char's. Yeah.
To teach you the X's and O's, and you were just
Well, as I told my wonderful wife Char, so many times that people try to explain to me what a linebacker is and couldn't do it. And she explained it to me to where I could actually.
So it was Char that finally gleaned the light on it.
Yeah, because cut the crap. She's a black and white. She says it like it is.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, well, you got what the key word was that nobody told me was what's the difference between offense and defense? Offense is the one with the ball. Defense is the one without the ball. Okay, so the only ones that are the ones behind the line of scrimmage that are linebackers are the ones who don't have the ball. Bingo! Done!
I played linebacker my whole life. I mean, if somebody asked me to explain it, it's like, I mean, just fucking tackle the guy who has the ball. I mean, yeah. That's kind of how my coaches always told me as a young age, like, all right, you play linebacker, just tackle the guy who has the
I
football.
will say this, though. After now knowing what linebackers are and watching football games with that knowledge, I still don't know how they can follow the linebackers because they scatter all over the place.
They do.
How do you follow the linebackers? What do you?
Oh my
We're
God.
going 3 different directions.
One's
this one,
going
that
this
one?
way, one's going
He brought
that
that up in
way,
the book,
one's going
and even
that
watching,
way.
you brought that up, and then watching football, I was like, how do you follow this game? Like as a as a cameraman, I mean, I guess when you have
now they got
7,000 cameras, somebody's
everybody's
gonna
on
catch
their own
a shot.
guy,
but
you know.
I mean, you were one of the first, though. You stamped away, man.
Yeah.
I was privileged.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you were good at what you did, and you were able to use that.
I think if you probably would have done it a couple times, I mean, the way you are, you probably would have learned what the linebackers were just from doing it. Like,
of course.
I mean.
Well, I will say one thing that I think I can say that many times throughout my life when I've had deflating moments like that, like the time Broadwick, I delivered a floor down to Texas to a guy that ripped me off.
Yeah.
I do have after things like that happen to me, I do have a time where I'm the wind's out of my sails. I'm down for a while.
Yeah.
You know, I might need a month to.
Is it
recover.
anger? Are you mad at that guy? Like, fuck
No.
you fucked me because he fucked you
well,
over.
yeah, I mean that's a natural
you a
emotion.
bounce check.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm sure I've felt that absolutely, but really, what's the driving feeling is beat up. Just knocked down again. I gotta get the energy to get back up again.
Yeah.
And that's something every one of us got to do because, as I said with you young guys, I know that there's going to be days in your lives that it's going to not turn out like you think, and you're going to have to deal with some tough crap, and I know you will. But there's no magic wand. Bad things are going to happen. But
yeah.
But the bottom line is, are you happy? And if you're not, fix it.
Right.
I mean, life's fantastic, man.
Yeah, you guys are too. I want to thank you guys so much for inviting me into your.
I can't.
Welcome to the game.
You are welcome anytime.
We probably could do another 3-4 hours talking about stories from your book. So anytime,
trust me.
I mean, anytime you'd want to come back on and we can talk about the book. We can talk about anything
at all.
I mean, we're here on Wednesdays recording, so if you just want to pop in on a Wednesday, come on down to the stew and we'll be here.
I want to thank you because I think this is the first time that we were, I mean, especially, me and Max started this 2 years ago in his basement with nothing really. Yep. And, I mean, we've had guests. This was the first time we were nervous. We were actually butterflies in our stomach, nervous
Let it
for
be
this.
me to do something that's the first.
Fuck yeah!
I mean,
oh man, yeah. But this, reading your book, everything. I mean, this is awesome. This is way better than I could have ever expected.
Oh. 100%.
100%. This is a great time. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And if you ever want to come back and maybe like figure out how to set up some other cameras in here,
I don't know.
Well,
feel free.
My response to that is, I'll wait to see this podcast.
Yeah, right.
Because see how the video turns out and stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Maximilian Seamus Johnson.
Hey, K-Town, my man.
Bow down to Doug Heim. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
No, thank you.
No,
absolutely.
No.
Hey, we'll let Decker Polinari take us out of this episode 52. Doug Heim, what a fucking time he had.
Blasting the stew.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
Take it easy. Oh, hey, Max, can I have that? Can I end the show?
Oh, yeah.
God damn, that was such a good ending.
I suppose.
Oh, it wouldn't be a HUA ending without
a couple of
Hey, I went up for a bit. I'm going to reach across for a second. I'm sorry.
I love beer.
Hey, Maximilian Seamus Johnson, Dougie Heim, thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's do it.
Decker Polinari. Let's have a good time, y'all.
Woo. We did
Peace
it.
out.
The thing works.
That's fucking awesome.
Thank you for tuning in. I know your time is valuable. There's thousands of other podcasts that you could have settled for, but now you're just vibing with two goofy dudes from Wisconsin who like to discuss the problems and figure out ways to solve them and challenge the listeners to get up out of their comfort zone. Try some shit they ain't done before. This is Hold Us Accountable.
And last time I had darker hair and more.
Yeah, this is hold us accountable. This is hold us accountable.
Let's bring you back to you.
Hold us accountable.